Hello, I'm Nicholas Jackson.
And I'm Luke Roberts.
And welcome to episode 3 of the Rand Nerds podcast.
How did we go 3 and not fade?
Well, we're skilled.
And in fairness, hasn't it only been about 15 minutes since we recorded the last one? Not
Something
literally.
Like that. Not literally, no. That is a slight exaggeration. It's been about 15 days.
Really?
Well, we are rather early this month. Usually we record it around the 20th and then spend an eternity editing it, and then I spend about an eternity getting it onto the sites.
Gotta love that power.
Yeah, you gotta love our efficiency.
So be thankful we're not saying, oh yeah, we'll do it every Wednesday.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
Right, so...
Your phone went off.
It did. Oh, no.
Oh. Right, that's it. We're going to have to make a new rule for the podcast. Every time someone's phone go off, I don't know, a listener can come to their house and punch them square in the face.
I'll put Do Not Disturb on, I'll put airplane mode on, so that should kill everything.
Right, there we go. Remember that. Because I've already done it. I'm prepared.
Yeah, well, aren't you a goody two-shoes, aren't you?
No, because I'm the bloody one that has to edit everything. Right.
You can edit that out. I'm sure you can sort of change some fancy gizmo. That there must be a remove iPhone vibration.
Remove iPhones, phone calls, signal noise.
Yeah, there must be something.
It's all good.
There must be something.
We'll find something.
Yeah. Shall we actually begin? Because we just wrapped on for the last about 2 minutes. And actually said
Christ. Oh, yeah, we're doing a podcast.
we're doing
Topics.
Yeah.
What are we talking about then this
I have no
month?
idea. Hang on a second. Oh, I've got a list here.
List.
Well, I think we need to stick. We're going to be something very surprising this episode. We're going to start with games we've been playing.
Okay. Oh, bloody hell. All right, then. Go for it.
All right. Well, there's not been much out recently that I've been interested in, so I've been taking this opportunity to get some of the games that I missed out sort of in the last few years and catch up a bit. So I'm playing Far Cry 3.
Bloody hell, Far Cry 3. Now, I can actually say I have played that one, but go on, what do you think?
Yeah. I really love it. Obviously, there was Far Cry 1, which was made by Crytek, but Far Cry 1 has nothing to do with Far Cry 2 or 3. They are completely independent games. Far Cry 2, just a lot of... You can see, actually, at first I thought Far Cry 3 was going to be very different, but after fact, you can see what's ahead a lot of the mechanisms from Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2...
I've never played Far Cry 2, so I've played the first one and a bit of the third one, but I've never played the second one. So.
In the game, everything's very visual. You know, you see your arms cater and grab hold of something. You see your legs jump over things. When you get a cut, it's very visual. There's a lot of you feel that you've got a body. That's very similar to Far Cry 2 and the healing count when you get really badly wounded. You see yourself like putting a bullet out. That's per Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 is actually a bit more graphic than that. You know how in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 2 you have like your health bar split into segments.
Yeah.
In Far Cry 3. As long as you've got a syringe, you can heal yourself up to depending on what skill level you're up to, you can heal like 2, 4, 6 health slots. But if you get down to no syringes, what you do is you like emergency first aid, and you'll see you put a bandage on.
Oh yeah, you can bandage, because I can remember that at the start of the game, you'd have to bandage yourself up.
Far Cry 2, I will say I'm doing this bit from memory, so I may be slightly wrong on this. But your health bars in segments as well. When your syringe, as they called it, rather than syringe, would fill 1 bar up. But if you got down to, I think it was like the bottom 2 bars or bottom 1 bar, or it started flashing, you'd have to do a proper heal. So actually, and that's when you like sort yourself like putting your arm back in your socket or pulling a bit out. That happened a lot more in Far Cry 2 than there's in Far Cry 3. A lot more. Now, everybody sort of has a go at Far Cry 2, saying it's a really bore game, it's got terrible, like, with spawning enemies, which were bad. They spawned, like, every 5 minutes. But you've got outposts in Far Cry 3, which you take over, they're yours for good. Far Cry 2, there were also these outposts. They weren't called outposts, they were called... camps. They were called camps.
Okay.
But you could never take them over. You could clear them out of enemies, and once you visit them, you've got a mark saying you visited them, but you can never actually clear them out of enemies.
Because then they just come back.
They just respawn. And I mean, that isn't like, if you imagine the map split into segments, if you drove to one side of the segment and then drove back again, they'd respawn and filled in like minutes.
That's pretty damn quick.
That is quick, and that was frustrating.
I can imagine.
Far Cry 3 solved that by meaning that when you take over an outpost, you've took it over, it's yours for good. That's probably the most funnest part. They actually added in a patch the ability to reset them all. So you can reset all the outposts back to enemy, because they're the funnest parts, taking the outposts. So you complete the game and then say, actually, I want to have more fun. Reset all of them back to enemy to control, and then you start again from fresh.
So I still haven't finished the game. I started and I haven't really.
No.
But it's good. What I have played, I've enjoyed.
Yeah, according to the handbook, I'm 79% of the way through.
Bloody hell.
Which I don't know how far you... Did you ever keep a check of how far you got through?
Right, I can actually tell you the exact place that I got to, and that's just after you meet the doctor. And you find out it's a bit of a Fruit Loop, and then you start tripping on shrooms or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what you mean.
That's pretty much as far as I got, and then I had to stop.
That's story mission 4, I think, and I'm on... There's 14 total. I'm now on number 11.
Oh, so, okay, then I thought I'd... How long is the game then? Because I only played for about 2.5 hours.
I've played about 20 hours so far.
Okay.
But I'm one of these people who will try and do all the side stuff first before you do any story missions.
Oh, okay, I literally powered through the story. So.
As soon as I can, I go off story and I do all... I'm saying when they play RPGs. Now, Fallout 3... As soon as I got sort of let loose, I didn't touch a single story mission until I'd done all the side quests.
Yeah, I did that kind of thing with Assassin's Creed, actually, the first one.
The only downside, though, is you do find something in these RPGs that you're then ridiculously overpowered for the story quests.
Yeah.
You'll just blitz your way through them. So I'm about 79% of the way through. I mean, though I've got some annoying things, I don't know if you picked this up when you played it, but you get every about 2 or 3 minutes, the mission prompt comes back at the top corner screen.
Oh, I didn't notice.
It's literally, you hear this little, I can't do the sound effect, I'm not going to try. but it's like a little sound effect, this mission prompt, trying to tell you what you've got to do. Well, that's every 2 or 3 minutes, and when you're just wandering around, it gets really annoying after a while. You think, well, I know what I need to do, just stop telling me, I can cope with this.
Yeah, I could imagine, because I mean, if you've got like a log, then why would you want it to keep on telling you? It's not like you've just randomly just forgotten.
No.
You're a trauma victim and you've forgotten.
Yeah, it keeps reminding you, this is what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be doing this. So, and there's so much that says, like, either do this mission or go explore, which is really nice, but of course, it keeps reminding you to do this mission or go explore every couple of minutes.
It's like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, which is really frustrating. The other bad thing about it is you can't, like, have multiple quests open at once. So if you start a side quest, what it does is, like, complete the objective for your main mission. I know it sounds odd. It doesn't actually complete it, but it marks it. You get a little tick saying it's been completed.
Oh, okay. So it kind of pauses it, puts it on hold.
Now, some of these objectives, when the objective is registered, as it were, you have a mobile phone conversation where you ring up somebody. I think there's one not long after you meet the doctor, actually, where he rings up Dennis, who's the guy who the tribal guy who introduces
the guy that gives you the tattoo at the start.
Yes, the tatau, as they call it. The tatau.
I took the piss out of that for a long time.
The tatau. And what's annoying is if you go under skills, it's actually spelt tattoo anyway, rather than tatau.
Fair enough.
Everybody in the game has it tatau, but in the skills it's spelt tattoo. I've got slightly distracted off. So, about these mobile phone messages, meetings you get. So, we're talking about objectives, and what I find really annoying is the mobile phone. So, if you have a conversation for your objective peers, and then you go off and do something else, when that objective then is relisted, the conversation happens again.
Ooh.
Which is very irritating, because at one point he makes a pun based on Kill Bill, but I won't spoil it because it's quite late into the game.
Okay.
But the first time you hear it, you think, oh, that's quite funny, it's quite sort of topical, and yeah, it's something that I can imagine someone doing. But every time you then go to the side quest, you hear up about the 10th time of hearing the same conversation. Well, I was literally muting my speakers, because I just don't want to listen to it again, because it got painful after that.
I could very well imagine.
I mean, some other nice thing about Far Cry 3 is there's this thing called a wingsuit, which you get later on, very late in the game, which basically... Have you ever seen the squirrel suits that you sometimes see?
Yes.
Where they sort of spread their wings, they fly. You get one of them.
That's pretty cool.
You can use it again and again and again, so you can literally walk to the top of a cliff and jump off and fly.
That'd be
and it's got a parachute built. Because did you ever use the hang gliders in that game?
No.
Hang gliders are horrible. I've never been able to land one successfully, but the parachute makes it so much easier. It's basically it turns Far Cry 3 into Just Cause 2.
I was about to say it sounds so much like Just Cause 2, and I love that game so much.
What I also liked about it was that it's got things to collect. You've got these relics, you've got loot and so forth to collect. But if you're like me, who hates having to trawl around the internet, try and find some walkthrough, someone's found them all, or just spend looking every nook and cranny trying to find them all and getting frustrated because you miss one, you can actually in the shops buy the maps that show you them. The maps are about $500 in game money, but you can buy them, they'll show the locations. And to me, that's a perfect compromise to having collection quests. And if you want to find yourself, you can, but you know what? If you're like me, who wants to just know where they are, but wants to collect but wants to know where they are, you can buy the maps to do it for you.
Isn't that kind of like what we said before about how some games are getting easier like you said, how you think that they just want people to be able to enjoy the game. So rather than trolling around, if you're just like a guy that's only got 20 minutes here or there after work, there you go.
That will have saved me hours and hours and hours of trawling through every nook and cranny trying to find everything.
So if you don't want to, like, if you don't want to spend hours in game, like if you are one of them crazy people that likes to sit there, the completionists, go for it.
I want to complete the games. I want the 100% completion, but I don't want to be spending hours trying to find every little last nook and cranny. So there's 120 relics in the game to find.
Good luck.
Yeah, so I was quite glad. And to be fair, so you don't have to buy if you don't want to. I mean, you buy off one area at a time. You don't to buy the whole map's worth. Or quick calculation in my head, I think it's probably about $6,000 to buy the whole island's worth of maps because it shows you relics. There's also letters to collect, memory cards, and there was something else. I'm
so glad they're not getting their pricing scheme from TomTom.
Yeah. So there's the memory cards. I thought there must be relics. Yeah, that's it. Or there's also one you could buy which shows you all the loot is. All the loot chests. It shows you all them are. Does spoil the game a little bit because when you see them, also you'll see there's some collection of lots of loot chests. So you think there'll be a story mission taking place there in a little while.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's an interface spoiler. I think TV tropes would call that. My only criticism of it is that I think it focuses too much on stealth. If you want to play stealthy, the bonuses you get. So to do the outposts, if you take out an outpost normally, not stealthy, you get 500 XP for it.
Right.
If the alarm gets sounded. If you prevent the alarm getting sounded, you get 550 XP for it. If you take out outposts silently, you get 1500 XP for it.
That is a little weight, it's a little heavy on the
and
side there.
They sell weapons to basically be noisy. You can buy like light machine guns, but on shotguns to go and you want to go in, I'm going to blast them to pieces.
My style.
Your style. But if you want to play like that, you're basically being punished for playing like that. If I guess I'm giving a bonus to doing stealthily, but not nearly let's say near 1,000 XP.
I mean, they did try and teach you at the start of the game, though. Hey, be stealthy, be stealthy.
Yeah, but then why they don't give us all these heavy machine guns? Don't give us all the shotguns.
Daft, I know, but
I think I'm all for games giving you multiple ways to play them because you'll get different gamers. We're different gamers in many ways. I like to be stealthy. You like to you pull on those heaviest machine gun you can and go.
Mass murder rampage.
If ever we get round to doing the cut between us, we're going to be so frustrated because I'll be up in the hills with a sniper rifle with silence on, taking them all out carefully. Luke, I've nearly got them all down quietly, and I'll just see you all see with a heavy machine gun. That's basically how it's going to be, isn't it?
They're down.
Yeah, we got it, Nick.
Get in there, boy. Yeah. What are you doing up there?
Yeah. That's Far Cry 3. I would recommend it if you see it, especially if you go on sale. It wasn't sale 3 weeks ago, so you've missed out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out when I found out it was on sale on PC and I missed it.
It's still quite expensive. I looked the other day, it was £25 near enough. So it's for games a year old. That's still quite expensive, but
it's not bad for the kind of game.
I've got 20 hours of gameplay out of it so far, and I reckon I've probably got another 5-6 to go. I
mean, I have to say, when people first started telling me to kind of let's play it and do a review of it, I still haven't done the review. I put it off. I was like, I don't really think it's going to be the kind of game I'm going to get into. I kind of enjoyed Far Cry 1, haven't touched the game since. But when I played it, I was like, actually, this is really quite good. 2 hours later, I haven't played it since. But still, I would recommend it as well. Get it on... if you were a PlayStation Plus member, you could have got it for free, I think. Yeah. Or there's something on there for free. I'm probably completely wrong there.
It's funny you say about you playing it and you think it's really good to stop playing. It is one of those... so good games, you love them, and then you never play them again. Yeah. I was like that with Far Cry 2. I got halfway through it. I'm not going to I thought, I'm really loving this, really getting into the story, and then never played it again.
That's only because I got interrupted. So I got interrupted, we moved house, and I haven't played it since.
Same with Fallout New Vegas. I got so far on it, really enjoying it, stopped playing for a day, never played it, and didn't play it for about another 6 months. Same with Skyrim. I went on holiday for 2 weeks, come back and never picked it up again for about another 8 months.
Yeah, it's pretty sucky when that happens. But I've also had that as well, where I've played a game and I thought it's really sucked. And then I'll leave it for, say, 6 months, go back to it and be like, what the hell was I thinking? This game's amazing.
Yeah.
So...
grows on you sometimes. So what about you, Luke? What have you been up to?
Not a lot, if I had to be honest. My wife has hijacked the PlayStation 3. She's a Final Fantasy 14 addict. And the other day, just randomly, I saw that she was sat with the boys playing a game that I didn't even realise we had. we got it on PlayStation Plus for free. I can never keep track of what I've actually got from PlayStation Plus for free, but it was called Thomas Was Alone. It's a really fun little indie game.
I know.
Because it also came... when we got it on PlayStation Plus for the PlayStation 3, it also came with the Vita version. And I hadn't actually played a Vita game yet.
No.
I've got plenty of them. I've just not actually bothered to play any bloody games on it. So... my wife's like, oh yeah, it's really fun. You'd quite like it. You quite like, Journey and Flower and, little indie games like that. Oh my god! This game is... I really don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I let you have a go on it before we started the podcast on the PS Vita, because you've never played on a Vita either.
And I pretty much wouldn't put it down.
Yeah, it was literally, had to snatch it off. And I thought I'd have to shout at him on the podcast to get him to put it down.
I did threaten I was going to take the Vita home with me tonight.
And then... well, we realised it was on PC. Well, you already knew it was on PC.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was on PC. In the game, you play as different shapes. And you have to go through kind of little 2D obstacle course. It's a 2D platformer, but the story is amazing.
It is.
The the narration is amazing, I should say. The way that they've given these shapes personality is amazing. Like, you start to develop feelings very quickly for shapes. Like a little square or a rectangle or something like that. It's so weird, but it's so good. And the music.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the lighting. Like something so simple as lighting a black platform and giving it like a little shadow. And when the characters move, they have shadows and everything.
It's hard to describe. You have to see it really to appreciate what it's actually like, don't you?
Yeah, and it's just... wow.
I tell you what I also find incredible about it. It's a perfect example of what I think a lot of the excellent indie games are, and that realistically you can boil Thomas down to basically probably about two mechanics, which is basically jumping and switches.
Yep. That's
basically it. But from that they've made this incredibly detailed game, and it's hard to describe really how good it is. It's if I sat and described some of it, I think that sounds pretty boring. To be honest.
It sounds pretty dull.
It's about a bunch of shapes. One can't jump as high as the other. One can jump really high.
There's another one that can swim. One that acts like a trampoline. Then you've got like the really long rectangle. It's like double the height of.
Yeah, he can jump really high.
Yeah. John jumps really high.
Thomas is the little one that can jump sort of normally well. You've then got
Chris is really turd and really angry.
He's I don't like Chris.
And then you've got
I've said this irrational annoyance and hatred for Square.
It's crazy. It's really crazy, but it's just so good. And because you have to. It sounds really stupid as well, but because they all have different abilities. You have to combine them all. You have to switch. You can switch on the fly between whatever shape or character, I suppose, you're playing. And then you have to say Chris can't jump onto a ledge because he jumps like a little pussy. Yeah. So you can get Chris to jump onto Tom.
Yeah.
And then jump from Tom onto John. And then he's got up onto the next platform, and it's just you have to kind of figure out all these little patterns and things to get all the different shapes through like the little maze, and then get to their each kind of individual I guess like a little checkpoint or a teleport. I suppose.
They call them portals, I think. Yeah. But they've got a specific one that only they are a bit like keys, where they only fit through their own portal.
Yeah, it is their shape. Yeah. They fit in that gap, and then you move on to the next level, and it's just so good. Yeah,
it's what it's like. It's someone you can imagine somebody designing a game like that from like the days of almost like Atari sort of level.
Yeah,
but it's just amazing how because it is basically squares.
Yep.
Which is all an Atari really had on it.
Yeah, squares, just a couple of grids.
But it's amazing how much better it looks because it's just hardcore. It's not very. It's only $5.99 on Steam. I think we saw.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how much it was on the PlayStation.
And it's an indie game, so you're supporting an indie developer. So I think it's a must-buy.
Yes, definitely it is. I mean, all right, I haven't actually paid for it. I got it free on PlayStation Plus, but if given the option, I will definitely buy it. I'll probably buy it on. Oh, it's on Mac as well, isn't it?
It's on Mac as well.
And PC. So
I'm actually buying on Steam. You'll get both versions, won't you?
Yeah. So I'll pick it up, and then the wife can have it on the Mac in the bedroom. Then again, she's already got it on the PlayStation 3 in the bedroom, but you never know.
Yeah, she might want another one.
Yeah, why not? Play it on a different platform when she's finished it on one, she'll play on another one. I've done that so many times, but we won't go into that. No. Anything else?
Well, across the internet now, there are going to be people who are going to be calling me a right sad nerd, basically.
Try it.
Okay. The other game I've been playing recently, I feel like I'm at some sort of Gamers Anonymous meeting, or Sim Players Anonymous meeting for this. I have been playing, brace yourselves, Farming Simulator 2013.
There's a farming simulator?
There is a farming simulator. Now, yes, as you know,
Mind blown.
my two key loves in life are gaming and farming.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do in my spare time, is farming. And I've got a game that combines both.
Wow.
I won't go into too much detail because otherwise I'll be saying people asleep. But you start off, you get in a little farm, you get in your basic machines, you've got a plough, you've got a seed drill, which is the thing that puts the seeds in, you've got a little combine harvester, and you've got a little cultivator, and you have to go plough your fields, plant your seed, and all your trades using diesel, and you've got to buy the seed in, and you plant your seed, and you grow it, and you harvest it. You've got to harvest it at the right time. You mustn't harvest it too early. At the right time. Now, you've got several types of cereal crop. Cereal crops are things like barley, wheat. I'm going to try not to get too technical here. But if we did a Venn diagram of farmers and PC gamers, it's probably just me in the middle.
Yeah,
it's just me in the middle. If there's any others out there, please let me know. Because I would like to have someone else to talk to.
When you bought that game, when you purchased that game off God knows where you got it
Steam.
from, holy hell, an alarm probably went off in the headquarters, like, holy crap, our first sale.
Well, no, it's very big in Germany. That's where it's from. It's very big. Farming Sim is very big in Germany. This is from the same company that bought a sweet simulator.
Okay.
I think they also did Forklift Truck Simulator.
And that's what I'm going to have to play.
That's what I mean, they're all classic AAA games, clearly.
What was that? Didn't they do like an 18-wheeler game recently? Or someone's released
that's not them. That's another company called Euro Truck Simulator.
Marvellous. I'm going to have to try that as well. I want to get a big old steering wheel.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The Farmer Simulator, you've got all the... so you play fields, you grow up, you get your crops, you can either sell them straight away, or there's like various places you can sell them to. Some will pay you more for them than the others. Or if you think, the money's going to, I'll store them. Then as you get more money, you can buy more fields. You can buy cows, and you sell them milk. You can buy sheep. The sheep are very well animated.
Okay.
I'll just tell you that. They're very well animated. The bars are very good. They munch a bit too loudly, but that's a minor niggle.
So the livestock's good then.
This is probably not something that most will ever hear on a podcast about a game. The munching's a bit too loud on the sheep.
How come the animals are too loud in my PC game?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. It's something we normally discuss.
Well, I know a lot of people that play stuff like Train Sim, and like I said, the whole 18-wheeler thing and all that. There's a market for them.
Well, yeah. Well, clearly, I'm buying them. Me.
Yeah,
They're making them for me.
You are the only person.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say that, but there was actually, and this is going to be really sad, it's an RC plane simulator. For the life of me.
RC plane simulator. So you're playing a simulation of a simulation, effectively.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, well, here's the thing as well, because right, this little simulator, I was actually going to pick it up because I've told you before how we're starting a business. Well, I've started a business. And one of the services I was going to offer was flying drones for video. I didn't want to go out and burn a couple grand on a drone with a camera, fork out a small fortune on insurance and permits and all that kind of stuff, and then bin it the second I fly it. You're going to have a 15-minute fly time and 15 minutes practice, then we have to take it down, charge it, spend even more money on batteries and all that. One of the practice drones is actually an option in the flight simulator, in their RC simulator, and you can actually use an RC transmitter, an actual remote, to control the virtual kind of RC planes, helicopters and drones.
Clever. How does it work that out, though?
There's a specific type of transmitter that you can actually connect via USB, I
was going to say, is it going to be USB, or it's going to be some receiver that converts it to USB signal?
It's pretty, I thought it was pretty damn clever, because these are like universal transmitters. I mean, these are big old beefy things, like £100 or whatever. The actual simulator comes with one of these things anyway, so you're actually saving money. You spend about the same amount of money as if you were to actually just buy the remote itself. I wanted to pick that up, so I didn't go and bin a couple grand's worth of equipment, which is something that I'll do later. Ooh, and I'll probably end up sitting there for the rest of my life.
Yeah, just terrorising the neighbours.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Then that'll all go on YouTube.
Yeah. Perhaps you could shoot like some sort of TV mod underneath with your face, then you can sort of fly around. Hello, citizens.
That would be hilarious.
Lord Luke here.
Oh my god.
Rest easy, citizens.
Don't give me ideas. I'll probably end up getting arrested by the end of the week.
We keep saying this though. We've not been arrested yet.
Not yet. But if I keep saying
They sort
it...
of parked in their space again tonight as well, so they can't park the van out there.
You cheeky bastard you are.
Well, I want to be near the house.
At the end of the day, let's put it this way. If we keep on saying it, one day we might be right. And then we can say we called it and we got it right.
Yeah, we did.
So,
Predictions.
brilliant. Make a note of that.
So, yeah, if you're like me and you're a farming geek and you like PC gamers and you are part of the vendor, let me know so I know there's someone else out there like me.
Do you have an actual RAM in your PC rather than memory?
Yes.
I'm curious.
Yeah. Don't game on the farm because I could be here all night telling you about RAMs.
Moving on.
Moving swiftly on.
What's next?
Well, we had a little look, didn't we, before we're going to actually do a little video later. We had a brief look at a game called Rain.
Which is a PlayStation 3 exclusive. See, when you first put it on the list, because you're so like hardcore PC,
yeah.
I was like,
what is a PS3? What is an Xbox?
He was like, he doesn't know what any of this stuff is. Like, what the hell?
I know an Xbox an expensive power supply.
Well, apparently, well, actually, no, it's more a kind of a heater. They do tend to kind
I was
of
going to
melt.
say, you can just put the Xbox power supply at the bottom of your bed. It's lovely or warm.
They just put the Xbox in your living room. You don't need to pay for heat anymore. The
Yeah.
things catch fire every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, it's a good trick to reflow solder in them things. It's just to wrap them in a towel and turn them on.
Top tip of the month for you there.
For red rings, temporary fix, wrap it in a towel, turn it on for 15 minutes. Just don't bloody move it once you've turned it off.
Oh,
because
yeah.
obviously you're going to want it to settle. But now you know.
So, now you know. Top tip of the month then.
So, Rain, PS3 exclusive. Wow. I'm really glad you put it in there because it was one that I wanted to look at. And we have had a little look at it to see what it actually is. We haven't played it, but we're going to make a video on it.
Probably after this podcast, depending on how tired we are.
Yeah, pretty much, depending on how long the podcast runs on for. The cool thing that I've noticed about Rain so far is there are no bloody guns in it. Straight away, that's a game I'm like, oh, it's different, fresh air.
You might get an hour through and it turns into Gears of War.
Oh my god, could you make, like, seriously, like, that'll be, I don't know, Gears of Duty, fucking...
So far what we've seen in the sort of trailer, it's just some little ghostly kid walking around in the rain. Perhaps he does start doing stealth missions.
It kind of reminds me of Ico.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of that with the
I never
shadows.
played it. Sister and mother played it, and I remember watching them play it. And they made a sequel to that, which I never realised.
Shadow of the Colossus. It's not really a sequel.
It started the same character, didn't it?
I don't.
Sure, there was an Ico sequel. I'm sure there was.
I have no idea. I just know they made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, and those were two.
I'm sure. I'm prepared to be wrong on this one, but I'm sure they made a sequel to it. I'm sure they did.
One day we'll find out.
One day I'll find out. When we say one day, it means when we get on Wikipedia after this podcast and have a look.
Yeah. And then we'll add that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Yep, they did make a sequel.
We were right. I was wrong. He was right. Something like that.
We'll mention it in flashback next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say, without even playing it, it's probably going to be worth picking up just because it's different.
Yeah.
So, but we'll make a video on it. Check the YouTube channel if you want to know what we think. It's probably not going to be edited.
Yeah, it will get posted as well onto the blog, obviously. So keep an eye on the blog as well, which will link it all together.
It's just literally going to be pretty much an unedited first impressions. I'll throw in like a face cam thing as well, so people can see what we actually think. So rather than just being all like, we'll play it, hate it, and then do a voiceover later, we'll actually put in the camera so you can see our stone-faced hatred of the game.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to sort of keep the blog as like the central location for all our stuff.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to follow us on Facebook, you don't want to follow us on Google, you don't want to follow us on YouTube, you can go to the blog and get everything on there.
But if you do happen to be... Actually, if you are checking this out on YouTube, go to the website.
Yeah.
Just
if
in
you are
case.
checking us on YouTube, please follow us.
I was going to say there are...
And please like us. If you don't like the podcasts, then don't dislike us. Just don't say anything. Just go away.
Yeah, just piss off.
Go away. Leave us alone.
Just like putting that nicely. Is that all we can really say about Rain? I mean, just other than sound
we've only looked at the front beginning title sequence.
Yeah, but it looks really good.
It does.
Though.
I love the stylization. It's all this water. It's done sort of watercolor intro, was it? It's
Yeah.
I love that stylization.
And the lighting effects, just from the little intro-y bit, looked really nice.
Now, are we going to give them your prediction though? For the first 2 minutes, you made a prediction.
Yeah.
Now,
we basically watched the intro. And walked the character forward like 10 paces to the point where it came down on the screen, rain. And I was like, ooh, look, we've got to the title screen twice.
Yes, twice.
Right.
What we'll just say quickly is, if this is a spoiler, we don't know it's a spoiler.
Yeah, we haven't actually played the game, but I'm going to put money on it and say that this is some kid's nightmare.
50p?
Yeah, sure, deal.
Shake on it? Right,
Deal.
okay.
Right, 50p. That's a damn dream.
Yeah.
Just someone else play it to confirm that I'm right.
Yeah. I'm just going to edit it later, and I'm going to quickly
Yeah, we'll cut it out.
I want to go into Visual C Sharp, and I'll just hopefully it's coded in that.
You're going to edit my version of the game, are you?
Yes.
Just my version
Yeah,
of the game?
I'm going to delete the last cutscene.
You're going to hack into the PlayStation network and change.
You're going to go to the last cutscene, the little watercolour will disappear, and instead it'll be like my little stick drawings on,
Yeah,
on
like-
Microsoft Paint.
What the hell happened to the graphics?
Yeah. It wasn't a dream. It was all real.
And look, Farm Simulator 2013 on sale on Steam.
Yeah, it is. Well, come and say, Luke, 50p, please.
I'll be like, God damn it, can I give you an IOU?
Yeah.
You wanted to talk about Thief as well.
This is stuff I'm looking forward to. Now, Thief. Oh, Thief 4. Oh dear, Thief 4.
Please tell me I haven't jumped from news to things we're looking forward to.
We are, yeah, we should have said that really.
Yeah, this is stuff we're looking
We were
forward
meant to be
to.
doing some sort of, we did sort of suggesting like some sort of whispering intros. You know,
Oh yeah, but we'll do that. We'll save that for
Thunder Tits.
the spin-off series of Thundercats. Oh, amazing. Thank you, Hyperdimension Neptune. I'll say it again.
Deja vu. Now, Thief 4. Now,
Because you're a big fan of Thief.
I love Thief. It's up there in my top games. You know, I've talked about Rainbow Six, how much I love that. Thief is up there as well. I played Thief 1. Thief, although ironically, I love Thief, but I only completed Thief 1 this year.
No, that's something. No, wow, that's a bit of a.
I got, and Thief 2, which I love as well, I haven't actually completed yet.
Deadly Shadows is the third one, right?
Those shows I have completed several times.
That was a pretty good one.
Now, you think, hey, but again, though, it's interesting. People this Deadly Shadows, but actually, this show was absolutely, in my book, absolutely fine. Had its drawbacks, the fact the levels were a lot smaller, but it's the Unreal Engine, the better graphics, you're going to get smaller levels, unfortunately. But had some really nice, nifty features in it. The lockpicking was a lot better in my book, because it was actually quite a game which, unlike some other lockpicking games which is all guessing, this actually did make sense.
Yeah.
Lockpicking minigames are very hard to describe unless you see them, so I'm not even going to try.
Right.
But Thief 4, wow, poor Thief 4. I will say I've pre-ordered it, and I've pre-ordered the one where, now this is, you're going to love this, First Day DLC.
Yeah, I didn't. The thing is, right, I saw information about the DLC before before I even knew the game was coming.
Yes.
The DLC was pushed in my face. I was like, but surely if the game isn't out yet, put it on the fucking disc and give it to people. I am getting sick to the back teeth.
And this DLC is actually an homage to an episode in Thief 2, where you you raid a bank. And this is made by Earth Montreal, who also made Deus Ex Human Revolution. I think I mentioned in a previous podcast that in Deus Ex Human Revolution...
Wait, who did it?
Eidos Montreal.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you pre-ordered Deus Ex Human Revolution, you got an extra mission that involved a character from the first game.
Right.
And the second game, we don't count the second game. So Thief, they've done the exact same thing. If you're a Thief fan, you want to get the mission, that's an homage to the freest Thief, you've got to pay for the extra. Admittedly, it was only £3 dearer when I bought it. It's only £3 dearer to get the...
But isn't it on sale right now?
That was on sale, yes. I will say it was on sale. It was £3 dearer for the Master Edition when it was on sale. Now, my reservation for Thief 4, right, okay. By the time this is finished, you're going to think I hate Thief 4. And to be fair, I might well do when it comes out. But
We're going to be doing another Rain Star thing around. We haven't played it, but we're going to judge it.
Well,
anyway.
there's not been a lot, really, apart from a few CGI trailers, there's not been a lot and a few bits of previews that people have done. Not a great deal has been released about
Can I just
it.
ask, when is it due out?
Oh, not till next year. I
Okay,
think
then.
February next year.
It's a bit of a punch in the face to tell us about the DLC now.
Yeah, it's pretty good, you know.
And to put it on sale already.
Yeah. Right.
Things you hate about it.
You could just hear the enthusiasm draining out of me as you slowly said that. Okay.
You're thinking to yourself, fucking hell,
Right.
really?
So let's go through my list of hate of it. Okay. First of all, now the main character of Thief was called Garrett, and he's your master thief, and he's always just been voiced by a chap called Stephen Russell, who's done lots of game voiceovers. If you've played a lot of games, you will have heard him at some point, and his characterization was spot on for Garrett. Now they actually accidentally semi-stated this in one of their early statements. They've modernised his design to appeal to console gamers.
Oh, joy.
Those phrases are enough to send any Thief fan, getting his blackjack out to go and knock people in the back of the head. And the first thing they've done is they've got rid of Stephen Russell and they've replaced it with generic video game protagonist voiceover 3, who, like most modern voiceover protagonists, particularly from Ubisoft, is basically an emo.
Brilliant.
As you know, they all are usually from Ubisoft. And the thing is, they've missed a trick here. They really have. We're now going to get some spoilers for Thief 1, 2 and Deadly Shadows. But to be fair, Deadly Shadows came out in 2005, so...
That was a long time. I think that was on the Xbox.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That's what I played it on, by the way.
That's nearly a decade ago now, so spoilers, but come on. Beginning of Thief 1, literally the very first cutscene you see is this young child who's Garrett, and he is pickpocketing another member of the community. And this man who's got this funny symbol on his hand. This chap is called a keeper, and they sort of keep all the secrets in the city. And this keeper basically says to grab Garrett by the hand, and basically keepers can be like invisible. They can sort of hide and be semi-invisible, as it were, with their glyph magic. And he basically grabs Garrett by the hand and says, it's a very special person, I'm paraphrasing, who can find a keeper who doesn't want to be seen. That's the game starts. To bookend that, then in Deadly Shadows, Garrett, the same thing happens, but Garrett is the keeper, and this small child tries to pickpocket Garrett, and Garrett says the exact same thing. Now, to me, that is the perfect hook. If you want to have a Thief game, but you don't have Stephen Russell, you want to have a new Thief, perfect hook. That little child is the new Thief. Perfect sequel hook. Because if you look at Thief now, Garrett is always quite a normal, shall we say, normal person. He wasn't very fit and athletic. He could sort of climb over things, but he didn't do like sort of fancy acrobatics. The new guy does. Their explanation for not keeping Stephen Russell is they've got this new style of doing, I think, the cutscenes, where basically they do the motion capture, and the voice acting at the same time.
They have been doing that a lot.
Their argument is that it wouldn't look right to sync up the voice acting with the motion capture. And it would look wrong, wouldn't look artificial. Despite the fact that for many, many years, games have done it successfully. And in fact, if you look at the previous art style for Thief, what they've done, they've avoided that by doing a very stylized art style, which of course is gone now as well.
Can I just say it's not actually called Thief 4?
No, it used to be called Thief 4. They've renamed just to Thief. Yes, because they don't want to make people think that Thief is Thief. They want people to realize Thief 4. But the thing is, some people said it's a reboot, but it's not, because they've actually stated that Garrett's come back, the city has changed since the city where he lives. It's never given a name, it's called the city. That Garrett's come back to it and it's changed. Well, if it's changed, then clearly it's not a reboot. So, guys, they had a perfect intro there. They could have solved all this problem. Instead of having this little kid, instead of rebooting of Garrett, they called the kid Barrett or something, or Charrett, or Darrett.
Little tosser that no one cares about.
That wouldn't quite ring so well. But yeah, they could. If they'd done that, I think they would have solved a lot of these problems. Got Stephen Russell back, made sure a decent part in the game as the old grizzled Garrett. Bringing the new generation of Thief. That would have been brilliant.
And then that way, if it failed, you could have just brought Garrett back and bam, there you go.
Perfect. Other things I don't like about it. Okay. It's got quick time events in it.
That happens a lot in games these days.
I know. Why? I hate quick time events with a passion. There's some good ones. The Walking Dead's quick time events are very good because they're actually interactive.
Not played that one yet.
I mean, well, when you play it, you'll see what I mean. They're actually quite interactive. Although they're quick time events, you are interacting a bit more.
Okay.
So one of the things, the scenarios they give you is, in one of the previews, Garrett's like on this, I think it's on like a burning bridge which collapses and he falls and he has to do a quick time event in order to fire a rope arrow to climb out. I hate that sort of thing. I hate those sort of scripted, there's no way around this, you're going to fall type thing. I hate it.
Just speaking about scripting, don't mean to interrupt, reminds me of a conversation we had years ago, right? You were would you say you were a reasonable fan of Call of Duty 1? Other than...
Ah, yes.
There was a point where, spoiler alert, and I don't give a fuck, one of your team gets wasted by someone as the door gets
this was
booted
hilarious.
down. And you, from what I remember, managed to take out the guy that is supposed to shoot your squad mate.
Yeah. Basically, what happens. This is most people, when I say Call of Duty 1, most people are going to think Modern Warfare.
Right.
But actual fact, believe it or not, there were Call of Duty games before that.
That was way back when, World War II was a thing.
Yeah, when World War II... I don't know why World War II has never got more popular, really. I mean, there are hardly any games that come out about World War II. You never see them very much these, do you? No, it's all Modern Warfare these days. You hardly ever see it. Poor World War II is forgotten about, really.
Forgotten about. Oh my god.
Yeah. Come on, developers. I want more World War II games.
No, come on, devs. Give us World War One.
I want to play more generic American soldiers winning the war by themselves. Please, come on, deal with it.
Yeah, come on, let's fuck with history.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, and this has been this Russian. You're playing the Russian campaign. Actually, I've just come to you're playing the Russians. Russian campaign is the best one, the original Call of Duty. And there's this bit where the Russian guy kicks open the door, and what's going to happen is he kicks open the door, he runs in, he gets machine gunned out. As you do it. First time he does it, I think, well, I'm going to see if I can save him. So I managed, with a bit of clever trickery, to push my way in front of him. The machine gunner shoots through me and kills him. Right, let me try and solve this a second time. Second time I play it, I managed to get in front of him. The same sort. I can't for life remember the trick I used to do it, but I got in front of him again. This time I shot the machine gunner. This Russian dude, so surprised he didn't get machine gunned down, decided to have a heart attack and die instead.
Brilliant.
Now that's scripting for you. Scripting is... I have nothing necessarily against scripting, but it's got to be either making it in such a way that you can't interfere with it, such as a cutscene, or make it so that it has like divergence in it, so you can bypass things like it. Yeah. We've all encountered the enemy that you'll see and you think, I know I can get him, but you try and shoot him and you can shoot him with a bazillion sniper rifles. He won't die because it's not his turn to die.
It's not his turn. That's actually one of the things I hated about Call of Duty. I hate that about any game, but it's not until recently, actually, I realised how some games that I quite enjoyed, how heavily scripted they were, and how completely unplayable they'd be without the scripting.
There's a fine line between making a game scripted enough that it makes the game enhance the experience, because there's a reason these scripted is to try and make it more cinematic. To the point, there's a point where basically the player then no longer becomes a player, becomes an actor. But he's not been given the script beforehand. So the player is basically guessing what he's got to do. And that's what I think some of the modern games have a habit of doing a little bit. I personally like scripting, and I think the best games are ones which aren't scripted, and which are all emergence based, which the original Thieves generally were. Which, of course, a new one won't be because it's being made for the console generation. Sorry, console players, but yeah. Other things that annoy me. Jumping is context sensitive.
Okay.
So basically, you have to run up to a ledge and you can then push the button to jump when you sit. Rather than this.
Okay, so what are you saying, that I can't just jump?
Nope.
I can't just jump.
Master Thief Garrett Jr. can't jump unless he's got a ledge in front of him.
Holy crap.
Presumably he's got some fear that he thinks if he jumps about a ledge in front of him, he's going to fall flat on his face. That's all I can assume.
His legs are going to fall off.
Yes, yeah.
They're not attached.
Yes, and it does the other great thing of when you climb something, you go to third person, because we all know when you start climbing things, your eyes move behind your head, so you can watch yourself climbing.
Yeah, I kind of have an out-of-body experience, and I can see myself climbing.
So, yeah, they do that. You can tell this is made by... I mean, I'm prepared to be a little bit lenient, because this was made by someone who did Deus Ex Human Revolution, and I was really worried about that, but it turned out to be a fantastic game. So I'm prepared to be a bit loose to it, but as I've heard of it, I don't like. Particularly, in this last thing I'm going to mention, guys, they have this thing called focus.
Okay.
Okay. So, what you can do now in Thief, you can have access to the focus mode. And when you activate it, time is temporarily slowed down.
Wow, that's not a mechanic
And
I've seen a million times recently.
No, and Garrett can perform special actions as part of time slowing down. And yes, and of course none of the previous Thieves had this. Oh no, and you can see things like see switches are highlighted and clues are highlighted, all by using focus.
Retard button.
Yes. But I will give them the due, you can switch it off, but only on the hardest difficulty settings.
Okay.
So if you want to play on like a normal difficulty setting, you've got to just ignore focus.
Just pretend it's not there.
Pretend it's not
Hopefully you've got rebindable keys then, so you can just kind of make it go away, and hope that the tutorial at the start, which will be there, doesn't demand that you
are
use it.
Master Thief Garrett. Push W to move forwards.
You're like, bollocks. And you know it's going to be compatible with the Xbox control pad. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the UI shift when people plug in a control pad. Look at that twitch. Right, as just going back to scripting quickly, the games that I mentioned weren't really scripted in the same way as, say, for example, Call of Duty. What Thief is probably going to be stupidly scripted in, or games that are full of quick time events. The one game that always springs to mind recently is one of my son's favourites, and that's Sonic Adventure 1 on the Sega Dreamcast.
Right.
And basically, if some of these scenes weren't scripted, you wouldn't actually be able to play them because, say, the camera angle is actually facing... You are facing... Sonic is running towards the screen. You can't see where he's going. So it's actually scripted so that Sonic is moving at great speed towards the camera.
So he's running towards you.
Yeah, so you actually get a great sense of speed as Sonic
all you
is...
can see is what's behind him.
Yeah, so Sonic basically
A bit
quickly...
like Crash Bandicoot used to do in their games. Used to have the right boulders up. They used to do that, didn't they?
But in this case, I mean, you could literally let go of the control pad for a couple of seconds. Sonic would literally blast left or blast right, shoot towards the screen, big jump through the air, hit another kind of boost pad or whatever, which is pretty much how the scripted bits work. You'd hit different kind of speed up pads on the floor, and you'd do that in quick succession, and it would kind of zip you around areas really quickly, make you have this amazing sense of speed. You got to think, way back then, when the game came out, 3D gameplay, especially on a console, for Sonic, was pretty new. So to give you a sense of speed, whilst kind of, giving you that attitude, that toot that Sonic had, doing that with a single analog stick would have been crazy as hell because you wouldn't have had any control over the camera. These days, you wouldn't have to do it, and that's why there have been so many crappy Sonic games, but if they hadn't scripted it, it wouldn't have played quite as well.
The scripting is, like most tools in the game creation arsenal, when used right, it's a very powerful tool. It's a bit like... you know how in cinema there was a phase where all directors went through going a key moment being put into massive slow motion. Like a character needs to jump and catch a ledge, and he'll jump, and that moment he'll go into slow motion so you can see his arm and going, whoa, and catch. Not necessarily quite like that, but you get the idea.
Pretty much every time was catching a ledge.
One director did it once and it was stylized. It was quite cool, and then everybody copied it to death. So at some point, some films, if you were to suppose speed up all the slow motion, it only lasts 10 minutes.
Yeah. Do that to the Matrix.
Yeah.
Make a crap film better.
Matrix got a bit of an exception because they had proper bullet time where everything was real, not just slow motion, it was like virtually stopped. But then everybody copied that to death as well.
Yeah, I was actually going to throw that in there as well, that got completely murdered.
One person has a good idea, and everybody just copies it, and then that idea loses its novelty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think I explained how the scripting worked in Sonic the Hedgehog all that well, but I mean, literally, that game plays itself, but because of the limitations of the day, on a console, it was kind of a must. With Call of Duty, for Sonic, it was more playability. For Call of Duty, it was literally scripted story, and really, as you've said, they should have given you an option, because you could have changed events.
Yeah. And it wasn't like the guy who, in the case of Call of Duty, was anyone important. He's just generic Russian soldier number 6. So it wouldn't have hurt them just to add him to your party and just leave him there. He'd been to your party the whole game. It wouldn't have hurt just to say, oh, well done, you killed him. That's okay. You'll just carry on with you then.
Yep.
It's not like he's a main character. But in that case, I'd say if you need a main character to die, do it in a cutscene. Don't do it in a script. I think I simply blame Half-Life for that, because Half-Life obviously had quite a lot of scripted modes, but they were done well. With a few exceptions, they were generally done well. And the way they did well was the fact that usually when there was the scripted bits come along, they found a clever way to take control away from you. So you were trapped underneath rubble, for example, so you couldn't move.
Yeah, so you'd actually then see something happen, and you
Yeah.
actually had
Or
no
you-
way of... And you wouldn't feel cheated out of it because
Yeah.
you were put there, and, I mean, there was nothing you could do.
Yeah. That's my personal gripe. So FIFA 4, I've pre-ordered it, but I'm very about it. And, well, we'll see when the podcast comes. I'll either be swearing at IDOS or possibly jumping for joy at how my fears have been relayed, or I'll be crying and Luke will be comforting me.
Yeah, I'll be saying, unlucky, mate. Look, it's on PlayStation 4
Oh,
by that point.
No, not PlayStation 4.
I don't know. It's...
Look, they've made it work with just 2 analog sticks.
in fairness, I mean,
I want
Deadly
100
Shadows...
keys.
Deadly Shadows wasn't bad on a console.
No, Deadly
That played
Shadows.
pretty well on a console.
And that had, I think, despite people who detract from Deadly Shadows, I think you can't admit that's got one of the best levels at the end. The second to last level, or
I
the
don't
third
remember
last.
the end of Thief. I just remember I
not?
had a lot of fun
Do you
playing
not remember the level, the cradle?
it. I don't remember any of it, to be honest. All I remember about Thief Deadly Shadows was the water arrows at the very start.
Well, Thief Deadly Shadows is the only game that's ever actually made me scream in real life. I've played horror games in the past that have made me jump occasionally. Thief Deadly Shadows, it's actually had 2 records for me. It's the only game that actually ever made me jump and scream, to the point that mother came knocked on the door one day, I thought I was dying.
Which you were.
Which I was. Well, yeah, because I walked into up to this point, I forgot that zombies existed in Thief. Because Thief zombies just lay on the ground, and they don't make any sort of... They just lay on the ground, they don't move until you walk up to them.
Yeah.
Then they just jump up at you, they spring up. I literally was in this cathedral, and I walked into one of these, what I thought was a dead body, just sort of thought, I'm just going to go rob this room, walked into it, and there's
And then you bricked it.
But the thing is, Thief zombies can run. They were fast you. So I had to do this really convoluted way of tricking it to walk into a furnace so I could destroy it. Because you can't, of course, if Thief, you're quite a weak character. Thief Deadly Shadows also the only game that's actually made me have to stop playing it. Because I was so scared I couldn't continue.
Interesting. Okay.
That was the Cradle as well. That was the second or third to last mission. And there's a bit, and basically I got so creeped out by that level, I had to stop playing the game.
We might have to actually get you to do a video then to show people, if people haven't necessarily played Deadly Shadows, we'll get you to
I've still got all the old saves, so I could probably just, if you just want to do the Cradle, I could just do the Cradle, which is the scariest game. I mean, whether it will work, I think it's one of those levels that work best, because I played it all by myself.
Yeah.
So how well it'll work on a video, but maybe I could film it and do it.
Yeah, that'd be
It's
good.
not a very long level, so yeah, I could film it and do it. But it's creepy. Even now when I play it again, I sort of have dread going back to it.
Well, I just want to quickly throw out there, because we have been talking about Thief for about 20 seconds. Really no time of talking to it and how much time I spent on all the other stuff. Thief, there's a 3-game pack on Steam for like 13 quid.
Bought that last year.
So if you want to play the good Thief games before they butcher the series,
$12.99. You get all 3 games. That's Thief Gold, Thief Mallows, Thief Deadly Shadows. You're getting to the right time of year now because it's dark in the evenings. You need to play the game in the dark because you won't see it properly during the day.
I thought it was it. I have to say I thought they were good games back before, kind of, I guess, back when console and PC stuff was kind of blurring a bit. That was back when it was still being done reasonably okay.
Yeah. I mean, graphically, they're not anything to shout about now, but trust
They're fun.
me, but they're fun. You will get into them.
They've got atmosphere, which is something that a lot of games these days don't have.
Them, yeah. You will get into. You just got to be a bit forgiving of them, but you will get into them.
It's not generic Shooter 15.
No, it's not Call of Thief.
It's not Call of Duty Modern Welfare.
Yeah. Modern Welfare is that the Call of Duty game based on the NHS?
Pretty much. That's the Department
Call
of Work
Duty,
and Pension.
Nanny State.
And there you go. That will be the next game.
Yeah.
Because not only Treyarch is sat outside as well.
Yeah. Oh no, we've got a new idea, lads.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Like jumping through the window and look, they got They're actually listening to the podcast.
David Cameron's the playable character in it.
Okay, I'm not going to laugh anymore, no.
No. Oh.
That just made me think of, was it Jack Thompson we mentioned in another podcast?
Yeah, we did last month, we mentioned him.
Yeah, and when fans made him and put him in Grand Theft Auto.
Even worse than that, he said that he put a bet saying that if a game developer, he basically made an outline for a game, and it's about this crazy person who played a game and then went on a murderous rampage. And he said if a developer made that game, he'd donate $10,000 to a charity. So a developer made the game, and then he refused to donate the money.
Yes, usually the way.
Yep, and so it took the guys in Penny Arcade donate the money, and they actually put on the check donating this money because Jack Thompson wrote, and he tried to sue him.
Wow.
But of course he can't anymore because he's been barred. Ha.
Thick bastard. I hated that guy so much.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on. What are you looking forward to, Luke?
Well, the only other thing I was going to talk about is the new AMD graphics cards.
Yep.
And Mantle. And if I had to be honest, I haven't followed it all that much because I'm heartbroken, I'm skint, I haven't got the money for a new graphics card. I'm currently rocking a 7970 that I bought at launch. And it's now craptastic. But what I will say is if you're after power at a really good price, the new kind of replacement for my card, the replacement 7970 or the equivalent 7970, the top model AMD card, at launch at least, is apparently going to be near enough on par with the NVIDIA GTX Titan, or the NVIDIA Titan, which is apparently the most powerful graphics card, or single GPU, or whatever it is.
That's the one that costs like,
$1 grand.
$1 grand.
Yeah, about $1 grand.
Yeah.
And the trick with the
about
AMD...
$50 million.
Pretty much. The monopoly money that is America land. According to rumoured prices, apparently it's going to cost about $600 at the AMD Radeon R9, whatever the number was. I would love to pick one up, but it's not like my graphics card's stretched. The other thing that they've got coming out, I think this might have something to do with the whole kind of console stuff, because I don't know, AMD is now in bed with consoles. They're doing all the stuff for the PlayStation 4
Dirty
and the
AMD.
Xbox. I love AMD.
How dare you cheat on me?
Well, here's the cool thing. Okay, here's the trick. One of the biggest things we all hate about PC gaming is, I guess, DirectX. I remember when I first started seeing DirectX pop up, it just made me want to pull my eyes out.
The fact that every game you have installs it, even if you've already got it installed.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to install it? No, I've already got the newer version
I'm installing DirectX again.
I'm installing the old version.
No, we don't want the offer. It's got the new version. I'm going to install it anyway.
Yeah, fucking let me do everything. Like, no. Well, I don't really know much about it. So I said I'm heartbroken. I really want to get the new card, but PC games so expensive. No, it
Right.
isn't.
So the question is, Luke, which child are you selling first?
Neither of them. I'll sell a kidney though, but I still haven't found any buyers for the last couple of times I've offered my kidneys. So I don't know if there's anything else I've got that people might want. Lung. Don't ask for my teeth. I'm British. They're horrible. I've got a long mane of hair and a big old beard.
Yeah.
I do literally look like the gaming version of Jesus.
You do actually, yeah. If you are perhaps of balding persuasion, and you are looking to make people think you have luscious locks, then Luke's hair would be ideal.
And there you go. And then just, you don't even have to give me money, just give me the graphics card.
Come with double-sided sticky tape.
And you'll be sorted.
Sorted.
I mean, come on. The thing that's, I think, from what I understand, it's going to replace DirectX. It's called Mantle. It's just going to speed things up. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to kick the shit out of DirectX. Fuck DirectX. It's for Nancy. Oh, and apparently they're making it so that guys on NVIDIA can use it as well.
Oh.
So it's not AMD exclusive. They're literally just saying, here you go. Here's what we developed. Have it. Let's get rid of DirectX because it's turd.
Yeah. I've had a lot of fun doing it with DirectX because I've used XNA and getting to initialize and getting to draw things.
Yeah, so
it's a lot of fun working with DirectX.
It's a lot of hoops you have to jump through before you can get a piece of hardware to do
it's
something.
It's a lot better now than it used to be. I have programmed the old version of DirectX. I'm trying to remember which it's version 7 or 8. And that was absolute nightmare to get a graphics card to do what you wanted it to do.
Wait, how old is 8? I can't remember what we're on now.
That was 9.
I'm on 11 now.
Yeah, 11 now.
Yeah.
8 was one of the first ones I ever worked with, and that was horrible to work with.
Nightmares.
That it's that was like you had to get every sort of look. You had to initialize the card, you had to set all the back buffers up. The new one, to be fair to it, has simplified it a great deal and made it a lot easier to work with. So it's not. I've used other graphics like I always forget the name. I can't forget the name. OpenGL, is it?
Yeah.
I have used that, and it's not. They're fairly similar. I would say DirectX maybe a little bit more powerful in terms of the code you can do with it, a little bit more, and also it's supported a bit more by the graphic card manufacturers, a little bit more.
I just want to throw this out there, kind of a minor flashback of sorts. When we mentioned that the consoles are a wee bit more optimized than PC, because they're going to be lower spec, but they're probably going to have
more efficient.
Yeah, they're going to be more efficient. I'm pretty, they've said that. So I think it's the PlayStation 4 has got direct access to the graphics card.
Yeah.
This is the way that the PC is going to go as well, all because AMD is in bed with the consoles. So maybe something nice has come from. Look, let's put it this way: what AMD is doing is going to benefit us. It's going to benefit us all, be it console or PC gamers. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the new gen graphics cards kind of come out and change things. And
as far as it replacing DirectX, I think we're going to just have to see about that. I think unless Microsoft says we're not going to support it anymore, I think DirectX is going to be around for a long time yet, because I just don't think any game developer... The thing about DirectX is if you're developing for Windows, you know they've got it. Whereas any other graphical API, you don't know they've got it. And yes, you can put systems to install it, but would you rather program something that you know they're definitely going to have, or something they might have? I know if I was programming, I did a safe bet. So I whether it will kill DirectX off, unless Microsoft adopts it.
Well, in future, we're not saying right now.
Maybe if Microsoft adopts it and says, well, okay, this is better than what we do. But more than likely what will happen is Microsoft will buy it out, and it'll become DirectX 415 or something.
That made me cry.
Yeah, that's what I think more likely will happen.
I could have actually been completely wrong with my description. Either way, it's cool. AMD, rock on. I am a bit of an AMD fanboy. Someone's just going to say, oh yeah,
Nvidia.
But Nvidia's just going to, Nvidia's card's going to be way more powerful. It's like, yes, but it is a leapfrog game. That's how it always works. AMD makes something faster than Nvidia. Nvidia releases something faster than AMD. AMD releases something fast. It's just, seriously, that's how it's going to be. They're not just going to jump and then stop.
I used to be AMD. I was NVIDIA originally. With my first graphic card, I was in the NVIDIA camp. And I was AMD for processor.
Yep.
And then as time went on and Intel jumped ahead of AMD on processors, I switched to Intel. And I switched back from AMD cards, because I went from NVIDIA to AMD, back to NVIDIA again. I personally found the cards more stable when I was using them. And I found the software you got a rhythm was that just felt a bit more efficient. So
because they're ATI way back.
So I've got an NVIDIA card in my machine. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest with you, I'm not big into I follow hardware, but not in depth. Like if you're obsessed with hardware like cards, I just get so confused now. What I normally do is go, right, I want to spend about £200 on a graphics card, sort by rating. Oh, there's the best rating. Yeah, I'll fit my PC. I'll buy that one. That's what I tend to do with my graphics card. I might look at the processor spec, but I assume, well, usually if it's more expensive, it's going to be better.
Fair enough. That's going to cost me about £900. That's got to be better.
Yeah.
It's going to cost the price of the rest of my rig, but hey, why not?
Yeah, why not? So on to other news.
Other news.
Well, this month, this isn't really news, it's a bit old now, but this month upgraded to iOS 7.
iOS 7, a PC gamer that loves the iPhone.
I love my iPhone. The iPhone is the only phone to have.
So I can remember way back in college, you hated Apple with a passion.
I did. Then I got a MacBook, and then I never looked back.
And it was a first-gen MacBook Pro as well.
That was, yes. And I tell you this, it still works.
Even though it's a bit beat up.
It has got a few dents in it. It did once get walked over by about a dozen sheep while the top was actually open.
And it still works.
And it still works. Amazing, it didn't damage the screen. The last sheep that walked over actually closed the screen for me, which was very kind of it.
Very polite.
So I did have to clean sheet muck up off all over for once all day. But yeah, it still works. I just put a new battery in it. A battery's only £100. They still make batteries. And yeah, I got February 2005 I got that. So that's nearly 9 years old?
And it still runs.
And it still runs.
It's actually just about as powerful as my rig. I got it years later.
And it still runs quickly. There aren't going to be many Windows laptops up there that are 9 years old.
I have to admit, mine doesn't run as quickly, but you are running an older version of the operating system to me, so...
Yeah, I'm on Snow Leopard.
I'm on Mountain Lion. Dumbest move ever!
Well, so iOS 7. I'll have to get my phone out. I apologise, I'm going to have to get my phone because otherwise I'll forget all the features it's got onto it.
Get ready, features.
Yeah, so, new basic features. Okay, I'll try not to get too boring.
Android 2.0.
I see what people say, but I can't disagree with that. But you know, if it works, why be spiteful? And say we're not going to do it because the other competition are doing it.
That's
it works for Microsoft, so why not?
Microsoft don't even develop their own stuff; they just buy everyone else out.
Yeah, exactly. So still things like the slide to unlock screen now, rather than having a little bar across the middle, you just do it anywhere on the screen.
Okay.
So there's no little bar. On the old one, if, say, you want to listen to the Rand Nerds podcast, for example...
Shameless plug, not really, considering you're listening to it.
Yeah, clearly you love it, but why not download more of them? Please subscribe on multiple PCs. Increase our feed rating.
Share with your friends.
Share with your friends. Force your friends to listen to this podcast.
On the old one... outside again.
Yes, on the old one, you used to have to double tap the home button. If you didn't want to have to unlock the phone... But you want to fiddle the podcast, you double tap the home button and it used to pop up and you play it through on the screen.
Oh yeah, you'd have the little play and pause menu.
Now, all you do is, with your bottom finger, you swipe it up. Oh, hang on. There you go. And it's all there. It's got like a little quick bit, so you've got the podcast controls. You've also got quick links to control your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, do not disturb, portrait lock.
Would it do that even if you've got like a, I don't know, however many number password, or do you have a...
Yeah, that works. That's got password on it.
Okay, that's
so
cool.
I can say, I've switched airplane mode on, obviously, for this podcast. Swipe it up, switch it on, done. I don't have to go into settings or anything. You've got like this is quite cool. You've got that button. You've got an automatic button do the flashlight on the front.
Oh my god, they've got rid of all the apps.
Yes, all the apps for the flashlight are doomed. You've got a quick button to your calculator, quick button to your clock. This is quite new. This is AirDrop, and if you drag files onto it, people in your contacts can have the files.
But that's useless. You can't store files on an Apple iPhone. You can't on an iPhone.
It's one of those things that you'll never use, but it's nice that it's there.
I suppose.
I've got in the back of my car. I've got the fixing point to put a child seat in. I don't have children, and by the time I have them, I probably won't have that car anymore. But it's nice to know that they're there if I did need them.
It's nice to have the
no, I'm not going to go on the road saying if I kidnap children. if a friend comes on and wants his children put in the back of the car, I've got the facilities to have that done. With proper seats.
I just don't see, because that's one of the weirdest things I found. Like, you've just mentioned that, I'm like, but there's nowhere to really store files on an iPhone. It's not like you can plug it into your PC and it comes up like a disc and you just dump stuff onto it. So where are these magic files coming from?
I don't know.
And half of the iPhone users are too cheap to buy a Mac anyway.
What more do you want? It's there.
Because
it's sat there. It's there.
AirDrop is a Mac exclusive thing. Well, Mac exclusive thing. It's just a network disk, but half of the people that own iPhones are too cheap to own a Mac anyway, so that feature's not going to be used by them.
It's there. For those of us who have got Macs, will think, I might use that one day and never will.
For all of us rich bastards. Next.
Other nice things about it. Oh, turn off airplane mode.
There's an error.
No. It's telling me that I can't access the internet because airplane mode's on, strangely enough. Things like the search function, you don't have to go right to the edge of the screen, you like to past the home screen, just do that, and the search is already there for you.
Okay.
You've also got your notification centre all on top.
It's very colourful, almost offensive to the eye.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm still quite sold on the colour. I personally find that a little bit cartoonish for my liking.
Just a tad.
If I'm honest, I'm not too keen on the colour.
That's actually hurting my eyes looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not overtly keen on it. Finally, at long last...
Steve Jobs is turning in his grave.
Sorry, Steve Jobs. At long last, you know on the old one, if you want to say skip forward 2 years, you had to scroll for each month.
I guess, yeah.
Well, this one you don't have to now. On the calendar, you can now switch it and get all the years up.
You know, I'm going to have to nick my wife's phone now so I can have a look at that.
Yeah, it is good. You can play later if you want. Play on the iPhone. It's just...
I mean, don't get me wrong, because I mean, you know that I had iPhones. I've had iPhones since the 3G because I don't understand why the first gen didn't have 3G. What great marketing that was. We've had 3G for about 500 years, but we're not going to include it. You can have Edge, or Hedge as I would call it, the Farmers Network, because you'd never get Edge in town. Ever, right? But as soon as you got on the bloody train and went past some random farm, there it was! A faster network you'd get in town.
Well, the sheep want to check their emails.
Fucking hell.
You know, they get bored in the field. You'd get bored if you spent the entire day wandering around the field eating grass. You'd want to check your emails as well. Play a game of Angry Birds.
I wouldn't really be eating grass. I'm pretty sure that many people would be going, smoking grass. It was just weird. But then again, this is lower stuff. It is kind of, you know, Silent Hill end of the line. Kind of dealio, so you don't ever get anything. And then they're claiming we're going to get 4G soon. Yeah, right. Maybe when I get on the train and go through a field. Yeah. But
I must have told Silent Hill. I've got the Silent Hill soundtrack at home, and my favourite thing to do is when it's really misty and it's like dull outside, I just go outside and just play the Silent Hill soundtrack.
You should put it on, dude. You should put it on the garden speakers.
Yeah, and I sort of walk very funny around the garden like the character used to. He used to walk like he got two like poles in his legs, or maybe he shat himself. He used to walk around like that.
Every time I go out on the bike, right, and I'm doing the vlog with the camera, and look, I usually, you know, ride down to the promenade and I'll walk along the beach, and horrible sea mist, you can barely see it like a foot in front of your face. The camera comes out and I'm instantly like, shit man, I'm in Silent Hill, I better run. As soon as that siren go, leg it.
Do you ever feel like wandering around shouting, Cheryl? Cheryl, or was it Sherry?
I can't remember actually. That was Silent Hill.
I used to. One was one had his little girl. I think she was called Sherry or Cheryl. Number 2 had Maria, the crazy woman. Number 2, there's that fantastic facial animation, which I still think has not been beaten by many games.
How many? I'm just trying to remember now. How many Silent Hill games?
Oh right, okay. You had Silent Hill 1.
They were on PlayStation.
They were on PlayStation. No, PlayStation 1 was Silent Hill 1. PlayStation 2 was Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3.
Oh, it was on PlayStation 2, okay.
Yes,
so I haven't played Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 3 was a sequel to Silent Hill 1. Silent Hill 2 was not. Now Silent Hill 4 wasn't actually a Silent Hill game, it was a rebranded another game. They take another game, it's called Silent Hill 4 The Room, and it was another game that Konami changed to Silent Hill.
Alright, ignore the clicking.
Then there was Silent Hill, the last one I remember was Silent Hill Homecoming?
Yeah, that was some random...
That was Wii, wasn't it?
I don't honestly know, I just heard that was a random toss-up.
Yeah, it's that again is sort of a remake of the original.
Oh, okay.
Silent Hill 3 sort of a remake.
Was that like Baby's first remake though, or?
No, it was basically from what I get, I didn't actually play it. My sister mother played that one.
Okay.
All I ever saw of it was the final cutscene. So I literally walked in and said, "Oh, what are you playing?" Oh, it's Silent Hill Homecoming. Oh, I didn't know about that. Because I sort of lost track of. That's when I used to play console games. So I lost track of it after that. Basically, it was the same as the first game, except you played the girl that got lost. But you weren't playing it. You were playing the protagonist, but the girl got lost was actually relating you to a psychiatrist. Was it Origins actually? I'm thinking of. Now you've got the list up. I might be thinking of Origins.
I was going to say because I feel like a bit of a noob now. So I must have only been Silent Hill 1 that we played.
I've been honest. I've personally played the first 3 Silent Hills. Silent Hill 3 was the last one. That's the one that got too actiony for my liking. You start the game with an Uzi.
This is the kind of thing that they did with Resident Evil. But then again, I was never a fan of Resident Evil, so...
No, Silent Downpour, that's the most... That was Oh my
Silent
word,
Hill
there's loads of them.
HD collection. Now,
There's
we've
loads
actually
of-
got the Silent Hill HD collection, which, what was that? That was Silent Hill 1 and 2 in HD. Oh, and Silent Hill 3. But here's the horrible thing. Here's the trick, again.
Here's the trick.
Every HD bloody remake they've done has been absolutely fucking crap. They'll scale everything up, but, you know, collision detection and things just randomly fall to bits when they do that.
yeah.
They don't...
You might as well, what you should do is, if you forget about doing a re-release of the games and just scaling the graphics up, just, do a remake.
Yeah.
Just do a remake. It's much simpler.
Just completely rebuild the games.
What I was about the Silent Hill games were the silly joke endings. So the first one you had the UFO, the second one you had the dog ending. Do you ever get the dog ending?
No.
Basically, you can only do it on the second playthrough, and you find in the first playthrough you'll go through the pub.
By the way, spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is Silent Hill 2, mate. Come on, it's years old.
Yeah, but what if someone's never played it?
Well, that's their own problem, isn't it, really?
True.
Come on. So you find, this first time you play through, you get to this part, and there's a room locked you can't get into. If you play it again, sort of a New Game Plus,
New Game
you
Plus.
find a key, and the key goes to this room in the apartment, which doesn't tell you this. The key is just a random key you find. Doesn't tell you this. But if you go into that room in the apartment, what you find is you find a Japanese Akita, which is a type of dog, and it's got this control panel, and basically the dog was controlling the whole game, and it was manipulating everybody, and then you get a special doggy-themed outro for dog barking, the sort of Silent Hill theme tune.
Okay.
Oh, that'll be in the notes, I think, for the show.
Trippy.
I'll link to that.
Random ending.
Yeah,
So we've had the world's greatest reload sound, and now quite possibly one of the most fucked up plot twists.
Yeah. It's just, it's on the PlayStation. We know that anything's on the PlayStation is a little bit weird. I mean...
No, it's just because it's Japanese, mate. It's Japanese.
Yeah.
It's just Japanese.
It's good old Silent Hill.
Gotta love Silent Hill.
Gotta love Silent Hill.
How did we get to Silent Hill?
From iOS 7, I don't know. I don't know.
Best segue ever. Let's somehow wing that back to iOS 7. He should have had an iPhone.
Yeah,
That's because he was following Apple Maps.
Yes. Yes. Apple Maps.
If
You
you'd
are
have
now
just-
in Silent Hill.
If he'd have
Good
just
luck.
bought a TomTom, he'd have been bloody
I
fine.
remember what I once did to my sister once. When we were playing Silent Hill 1, she was getting really creeped out by it because she had the radio. It used to play static. I used to have one of those airbound radios you could listen to all the aircraft on.
Yeah.
But if you did it right, you could have static. You could control the volume of the static. So what I used to do is in the sort of late at night, about sort of when she was fast asleep, I used to sneak into her room. I used to put the static on.
Dude, you're an asshole! Wow! Way to destroy someone mentally for life. You find their weakness and then exploit it for fun.
She does it to me. All fair in love and war. When you combine them together, even better.
That would make a great kind of film. You know, like Scary Movie to Scream.
Yeah.
You and your sister made a short film about just tormenting each other.
Yeah.
That'd be gold. iOS 7, quickly. God.
I said, well, there's not really much more to say about it, really. It's just good. Download it.
It's unless you've got an older Apple device. I guess the
I
iPhone
don't-
3GS probably doesn't support it anymore.
I don't actually know, to be honest. Because I don't know who's got an iPhone that old.
No, true.
I think the person I know who's got the oldest iPhone has got an iPhone 4 because I sold it to him. That was my old iPhone.
I've got I had a 4S,
Yeah.
but I don't anymore. So
There you
I
go.
just don't.
One creepy thing I've noticed on the iPhone, and I was playing with Siri the other day, I was scrolling up, and it shows you things you can ask it. One of the things you can ask, and it gives you examples like, tell Margaret I'm coming to tea.
Okay.
And one of them is, tell me when my daughter gets home. Now, what that's saying to me is the iPhone is tracking her phone as well. It knows that that phone belongs to his daughter.
That does actually.
It does. But it's tracking, and then it's work out when it detects he's got back to the address, it'll text and let him know. That's rather stalkerish.
Yeah, but it's an advertised feature.
I know it's an advertised feature, but I don't want a phone that will tell the world where I am. Because sometimes I go to places I don't want people to know where I've gone. You know, when I'm like disposing of bodies down the mine shafts, you know, I don't want people to know. You don't want that popping up.
Actually, Siri will tell you where there's good places to dump
Will
bodies.
it? Yeah. You don't want to find yourself tagged on Facebook because it's integrated.
That would be amazing.
Nicholas was tagged at the old mine shaft.
What the fuck? That's the 5th time he's been there. What's going on?
Yeah. And why is he always there at 2 a.m. in the morning?
How come he always... That's weird, actually, because he always comes back, one covered in mud, quite agitated, and people just randomly seem to... Oh my god, he's secretly throwing a party.
Yeah.
Not quite.
What would be more disturbing is if you tag one of your friends in him and then the friend's never seen again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, the black van.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I know, the black van.
Actually, there's going to be a black helicopter if you keep this up.
Yeah. I'm getting my wanted stars rating up higher.
No, we're not talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 before anyone starts jizzing in their underwear.
No, we're not talking about that until I can play it on PC.
Which will be never.
It will come out.
Yeah, when...
It will come out.
It'll come out when the Steam machine gets released.
Yes, segue. The biggest news in probably PC gaming land, and somewhat in console land, I suppose you could say.
Maybe.
Is Valve have released SteamOS.
Or are going to be releasing.
Well, sorry, yes, going to be released SteamOS.
Don't get people's hopes up. This ain't like 20 years in the future.
Yeah, but Valve, Valve are very good at getting this stuff out on time. They never delay anything.
Never.
Never. They never delay it by 16 or 18 months.
Just...
They always get out on time.
We are saying this with a straight face. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yeah.
I gave Neil on the phone this morning. He was just chatting to me about it. You know, it's some shocking twists. David Cameron's in it.
David Cameron, believe it or not, is actually a very, very, very popular video game character, or will be in the coming months.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in my video game. He's going to be in every game I make. As the enemy.
As the enemy.
Yeah.
I thought that was what he was going to be anyway, regardless. It
turns out G-Man is David Cameron.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Series over.
Series over, yeah.
If it ever finish.
Well, yeah. We're still waiting for Half-Life 2 Episode 3, technically.
See, they can't finish the series because they keep on finding that David Cameron is even more evil than they're scripting him to be, so they just have to keep on rewriting everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Soon they're just going to have to flip David Cameron with Satan, and then they'll make...
That's one hell of a physics puzzle.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It probably actually turns out that that's how it's going to happen. The world's just going to... And Satan is just going to be walking the streets going, what the fuck has just happened?
Mm.
And David Cameron will be down there.
Exactly.
Nice and warm.
Anyway, SteamOS. I feel we've gone off topic slightly.
Linux distro.
It's... Oh, that's a bit cruel.
It's a bloody Linux distro. It's Linux.
It's not Linux. It's a Linux-based operating system.
Yeah, it's a distro of Linux.
Linux-based operating system.
So basically, what they've gone and done is they've got Ubuntu and put Steam on it and stripped the rest of it.
No, they have done some work to it. They've optimized it for graphics.
Okay.
They've also going to work on optimizing input and audio at the operating system level in an effort to make it less produce lag on it. They are going to be releasing it. I think the plan is to release it next year, 2014.
When 2014?
Well, it's Valve, so it's not going to be released in 2014.
So basically, 2015, 16.
Yeah,
probably sometime after I get nailed in my box.
Yes, probably yes. It's a well. What can we say about it, really?
It's a Linux distro that we haven't seen yet.
No, we haven't seen it. Well, actually, they are going to release it. They're going to release source code for it.
Right.
So you can mod it, which is nice. Can you imagine Xbox releasing or Microsoft releasing Xbox's operating system?
Let's see. No.
No.
Can we make another joke? Could you imagine Sony doing that? And then everyone gets arrested. Okay.
Yes. So to combine with this, those are making the Steam machines, which to me that's a terrible name for something, because when I think Steam machine, I think of a steam cleaner.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
You're going to press your trousers with it or something.
Yeah. Well, if it wants hot enough, you could do it with an Xbox.
No, dude, you can practically... An Xbox generates enough power to just make the sun look like a little kind of Little tiny little LED. That's how much heat and how much power the Xbox uses and generates.
It's true that if you this is a top tip for you, if ever your oven breaks down, you need to roast Christmas turkey, just pop it on the Xbox for a couple of hours.
I had been tempted to crack an egg and see if it actually cooked on the Xbox, but
We should try that. We've got to do a video of that.
I've got a couple of Xboxes in the shed.
We've got to do that. We've got to do that. That's another video to our list.
There we go.
Right. Can you cook an egg on Xbox? No.
No, don't count the Xbox out just yet. It might do.
We'll see.
It's got to be good for something because I haven't been able to play games on the bloody things.
We'll see. Anyway, so back to SteamOS.
So they've got Steam machines.
Steam machines, there are going to be a variety of versions of them, including Valve's own.
Right.
So basically, you're going to have all these manufacturers that are going to be able to make their own version of the Steam machine with the Steam operating system on it.
Gigabyte, MSI.
Yeah,
Samsung.
I'd imagine Nvidia and AMD will get that at some point. I would have thought because it's basically a cheap way to get into the Let's face it, this is Valve's attempt
It's
to get
going
into
to be
the
a
console
cheap way of getting into the console market. AMD are probably going, fuck man, we just partnered with Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Alright,
Nvidia are going to sneak up beside them and say, hey look, we've made this for half the price.
and then AMD will be like, shit, come on guys, we gave you Mantle. Be nice.
Pretty nice. One of the good things you can do, you'll be able to stream your games off your PC to the Steam machine. So the machine itself doesn't need to be that powerful. So potentially, if you've got a decent computer, you could have a cheap Steam machine. They've got a far better name for it than that because Steam Box is quite good, but they don't seem to call it that.
The Steam Box.
Steam Box.
Just like,
Put the Steam machine in the Steam Box.
fucking Xbox.
Yeah. The Steam Xbox.
So, wait. So it's going to stream games?
If you wanted to. Or you can play games on it, depending on the spec.
Okay. And I've got a problem with it because games aren't exactly being made right now for Linux.
Do you know the same thing? They have said at the moment there's only a few hundred games supported by it out of their catalogue of 3,000.
And that's where the whole streaming thing kind of kicks in.
That's
really.
where I think the reason they're doing the streaming is coming in. But if they can get it into enough homes, I think you will see manufacturers going to look down the route of making it. Because I think if they do it right, and Valve are quite good at this sort of marketing, apart from a few sort of cock-ups. I mean, Steam wasn't very well launched.
I hated Steam when it came out.
Yeah. I think they could sort of go into the market. The problem I can see them having is, I'm hoping that they're not allowing anybody to make a Steam machine. I'm hoping it's going to be some sort of licensing, because what I would hate to see is somebody like Acer getting hold of it.
Okay. Oh, the horror stories of Acer.
Acer laptops. We had, what was it, 5 friends who all had Acer laptops? I don't think
Believe
one
it or
of them,
not, they were computer science students.
yes, and not one made it past 3 months.
Pretty much.
Yeah, one's power supply blew, two of the motherboards failed on 2 separate machines, unrelated models as well. They didn't have the same motherboard in them. So one's graphics card went.
The thing that bugs me as well was that there was one guy that would say that, oh yeah, mine was perfect, and then it would lock up or slow down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's normal. So no, it isn't.
That's not how it should work.
My PowerPC Mac
Windows is meant to have a
better
blue
than
screen of death on it.
It's just supposed to catch fire in the middle of the room.
It's meant to. It's a heating aid. So I'm hoping they're going to make sure that not any old Joe Bloss can make a Steam machine. You can make your own because it's a free operating system. You can download it and install it on anything. You can make a PC with just SteamOS on it if you wanted to.
Bit of a waste of money, in my opinion. But
it would be a waste of money, but you could. But, not being funny, I've got... How many old PCs have you got lying around? I've got loads of them.
Yeah, tons.
I'm sure my old PC could act quite happily as a streaming box. Because it doesn't need to be a lot of power. So I could easily bung SteamOS on it, plug up to my TV, and there you go. And they've already released that they've got pictures of the controller. Even the controller, they've said, is designed to be able to be pulled apart and hacked so you can do your own things to it.
I'm a little kind of about the control pad, if I had to be completely honest. I don't see how it's going to work. I really don't.
What they've said is that basically, the idea of the control pad is it's basically 2 touch pads. And so instead of analog sticks, you've got touch pads. The reason they've done like that is because 12 analog sticks, as I've always said, how can I best describe it? If you've got a mouse, let's say you've got a mouse, you move and you want to click on something, you physically move the mouse a proportionate amount of space to click on, say, something. If you want to move it, say, on the screen, a third way across the screen, you move a mouse proportionally a third to the left. If you move it all the way to the other side, say, halfway across the screen, you move it proportionally halfway across.
Yeah.
So there's a direct relationship between your movement and where you're clicking. With a joystick, you're just holding it to the left to get where you want, holding it to the right, which is inherently a more imprecise control because it's hard to judge it. It's not. I'm not saying you become a troublesome, glumphing ape once you've got one, but it's not.
I mean, you can't exactly just kind of wing it to where you want it to go. It's only going to go so far, and there's only so far it can actually move.
Exactly. But touchpads have the same advantage as the mouse in that they all move proportionally. What you move on touchpad moves correctly. So by using touchpads, they are basically trying to emulate mouse control. Because the actual hardware can emulate PC keyboards and mouse controls. So it will work with any game on the Steam library. Any game, because as far as the computer is concerned, it's a keyboard and mouse.
Well, yeah, but clicking as one thing, and all of the other buttons that you need for PC games. A lot of people have said to me.
Wow.
A lot of PC gamers have said to me. I have to throw this out there. A lot of PC gamers have said to me, "Bollocks to the control pad. They're just going to use an Xbox control."
Okay, that's fair enough. That's.
But go on. So what are they? What magic? What unicorn are they?
They have made it. But bear in mind, people have used the touchpad ones to play things like RTSs, which traditionally have always been very hard to play with a controller. I think you can't deny an RTS is not an easy thing to control with a controller.
Never really tried to play, to be honest.
Well,
I probably have.
But how many RTS games do you know that really appeal on consoles compared to how many Call of Duties and Gears of Wars?
None.
Not that much. There you go.
Kids these days with strategy, are you kidding me?
Because basically they are just hard to translate. I mean, I've played Red Alert on a console, and that was a nightmare compared to
Actually,
PCs.
yeah, you're right. Actually, now you mentioned it, I have played
and that's a nightmare compared to a PC controls. That's a nightmare. So they've found that you can use this touchpad to play them quite happily because of the way it takes the input. And you're saying about lack of buttons. Well, what they've put on it, they've got an extra touch screen on it, and this touch screen can be configured to have as many extra buttons as you need on it.
Yeah, that's going to be bollocks. That's going to be a mess.
And they've also said they can use a controller because behind each of the touch buttons, they've actually got two effectively like magnets, like you have on a loudspeaker, so they can give you feedback through your thumbs. Basically, what it's going to do for your RSI and your thumbs, I don't know. They've even said they can even use it to play sounds through the controller.
Well, for a start,
it's basically very tinny sounds, I'd imagine, but
right. I'm going to completely throw the control pad out. I mean, until I've got one in my hands, that thing sounds crap. I don't see how it's going to translate at all. I really don't. Even though, you've got a touch screen for all your extra buttons, but we've had tons of people said, "Oh yeah, but look, I've got a touch screen and I can map all these buttons to this touch screen." Touch screen gaming is horse shit. It just doesn't work. Don't give me buttons. I need buttons. I can't feel.
It has got buttons on it as well.
Like what, 4? From what I've seen?
No, it's got more than that. It's got 4 on the front. It's got 2 lots of triggers.
And they're all in the middle, by the way.
And the touch... No, the trigger's on the front.
No, the triggers, but I mean the actual buttons are in the middle of the...
And the touchpads themselves are buttons as well. They've got buttons built into them.
Okay, fair do.
So you have got buttons there. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Well, because the thing is, if they're not physical buttons, all they've really gone and done is try to make an iPhone game.
The only thing about it is, though, on an iPhone, when you're using touch control, is that by its nature, or on a touch screen computer when you use touch control, you're obscuring this part of the screen with your touch screen. Whereas
but what I mean is, I need feedback.
You will have feedback. That's what these little. That's what these little.
Yeah, but like I can't feel where I am on the thing. Like, you know, I touch type. I can tell where I am on the keyboard, seeing how it actually feels. Sure, it's going to give me a little bit of feedback when I've actually touched it.
But it can't be any worse than using a pair of joysticks on a Xbox controller.
Yeah, but I don't have to move my thumbs off.
You don't have to move your thumbs off this. It knows.
Yeah, but I've only got, like, here we go, mouse, or like WAS and D on my left thumb.
Yeah.
And then mouse controls on the other, but then how do I do anything else? Because
You've got your other fingers, haven't you?
But look at how many buttons we have for the average PC game. Unless you get a console
most PC
version.
games, as you say, most PC games are now built with the console in
Then
mind.
I'd rather play them on console or with an Xbox control.
But then if you could just stream from your more powerful PC, you've already said last podcast how your PC is going to outdo anything the consoles do, so if you can stream into a box that's so you got better graphics, why wouldn't you?
But my PC is, one, already in my living room, and two, we've already had to deal with this whole latency thing with streaming. I've already tried this shit. I've tried streaming, like game streaming, a long time ago. It's just not there yet.
Well, you yourself been seeing the praise of the the PSC Vita TV? And how it's going to stream?
Never said it was going to be any good. No, I'm after the Vita TV to play Vita games on. Yeah. Not to stream
But one
PS4
feature you were
games.
telling about last week that it's going to be able to stream.
No, it has streaming. Not that I'm going to use streaming. Like, the PlayStation Vita as it stands right now can stream PlayStation 3 games to it.
So, do I take it you're not going to enter yourself into getting to the beta for it?
Fuck no.
Really? You surprised me. I thought you'd want to try and get hold of a new Steam console to try out.
SteamOS? No. I have nothing to install it on. No interest at all.
No, the beta, you get the Steam machine.
Yeah, not interested.
Not interested, really?
Not interested at all.
Listeners, give it a day. He'll be on there by tomorrow.
No, I won't, because people, like, let's put it this way. People have been saying stuff like this for a long time. Oh, yeah, but look at Grand Theft Auto. You'll get it next week. No, I won't. Same with a lot of stuff. I just won't. The Steam machine doesn't appeal to me because, get this, people, my PC is in my fucking living room.
True, I see it there. I can see, from my point of view, you know, I used to play games with my mother and sister, but I hate playing on console gamepads. If what they claim is, and I'm not going to say it's going to be marvellous, I'm playing a bit devil advocate here saying it's good, but, you know, it's not out yet. Until I won't buy one until I've got one in my hands and tried it, until I've tried using it in a shop somewhere. I won't buy one. But if it is as good as they claim, then I may well rig up a little kaput up to our main TV so I can play games with my family again.
Or you could just build a secondary PC and get a lap board and mouse.
Yeah, but I don't like sitting there with I've never liked sitting with a keyboard on my lap. It has to be on a desk. So I need to have a table in front of me of some sort, and then there's sort of it's just not going to quite work crowding around it.
I mean, the control pad could work. I just don't see it. It's going to give me feedback when I touch it. There's loads of shit that rumbles when you touch it and give you like, all that kind of crap. If I haven't got enough physical buttons, the control to me, as it stands, just looks uncomfortable, and I don't see how it's all going to work.
I think what we need to do is wait for it to be released, because we're having this argument, we've neither of us have used it, we're just guessing here. I think we need to wait for it to be released, and I think what would be good is if we go try one, it'd be good if we could see if we get some filming done of it.
That would be nice.
If we can find a shop that'll let us film in it, and see if say, can we try and film it?
Well, as soon as they put it into any kind of events around the UK, we'll see if we can get in to have a look. I mean, I would probably still personally build my own and use a mouse and keyboard, or just use a regular Xbox control pad. I have next to no problem using an Xbox control pad for a console port.
No.
So
I've never liked the Xbox control pad where one thumb is up here, one thumb is down there. I've never liked that.
Yeah, that is awkward.
That feels odd. I'm never quite sure why. The only reason they did it that way is because they didn't want to make it look like they're copying the PS2 controller.
But the Steam control pad, we'll see.
We'll see.
Right, actually, no. It can't be any worse than the bloody Ouya control pad.
Yeah, I mean, that is basically a copied Xbox control pad, but badly done.
It's worse than an Xbox control pad, and that's... I mean...
It looks just cheap looking at it here.
It's crappy, spongy... I mean, like, seriously...
Oh my god! I mean, if that noise you can hear is me tapping it. I've seen Ferrero Rocher cases are made of better plastic. No. Is it meant to come off like that?
Yeah, that's where the batteries are stored. I've just pulled the face plates off the Ouya, by the way. It's kind of... It's a really bad control pad. It really is.
It's really cheap.
It's not.
like, let's take the worst feature of the PlayStation and the Xbox control pad and combine them together into one really unusable device.
To hold it, it's comfortable. To use it, it's fucking horrible. So, button presses, horrible. Analog sticks, unresponsive. D-pad, might as well just drive a nail through your thumbs. Just, seriously, it's a horrible control pad, and it loses connection about 2.5 feet away from the console.
That's useful.
Yeah. Best selling point of the Ouya, by the way, you can use an Xbox or PlayStation 3 control pad on it.
Can you?
Yes, that is actually in the literature for it. You can connect up with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ouya, but when you can't, that is not a feature.
That's almost admitting defeat, really. It's like saying, our control pad is so crap, but don't worry, we've made it so you can use other people's control pads instead.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I've got two things here. This is more your thing because I added this in because I saw it. Tom Clancy,
Famous author.
yeah, founder of Red Storm Entertainment,
Co-founder.
of Red Storm Entertainment.
Do you know who the other co-founder was?
No.
Do you know what he did?
Was it you?
No. Yes, it was. Yeah. When I was the old grand age of 12, me and him got together and we decided to form it, and I said, make Rainbow Six, and that's what we did.
And that's how. Yeah.
Actually, I would have been 10 at the time because it was founded in '96. So, Mr. Clancy, let's make Rainbow Six.
And it was like, brilliant idea.
Yeah, I haven't even read the book yet. It was actually founded by a British Navy submarine commander. I don't know his name, but a captain. Sorry,
That's interesting. None of the Rainbow Six games take place on a submarine.
Or in Britain. Well, actually, no, that's wrong. Actually, because Rainbow Six
on a submarine.
Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six Team is based out of Hereford, which is in Britain, which is where the SS train.
And there you go. Random fact of the day.
There you go. He actually praised the SS quite a lot in his Rainbow Six book. He says how wonderful. Anyway, we're going off topic slightly. Tom Clancy.
Right. The dude's passed away.
Age 66.
October 1st. So actually it's kind of nice that we did the podcast a little earlier this month because, it's kind of fitting rather than leaving it to the end of the month and whatever. Does anyone know how he actually passed away? Because I didn't...
I don't know. If he passed away the way he wanted, I'm sure it had been some sort of terrorist incident.
I'm going to have to look that up again. Ignore the mouse clicks again. Sorry, Tom Clancy, but, stuff.
Oh, dear. We should really do all this research before we record. Who's Tom Clancy?
Oh, wow, I can't spell today. Tom Clancy's The Division. What's that about?
I don't know. So we're going off. Division official website on Xbox One and PS4.
No. Right, whatever. He died.
There he is.
Age 66. Oh, 5 days ago he dies, passes away. Wow, he looks very different from the picture we had a minute ago.
Yeah.
Right, next time remind me to...
I thought he was really fat.
Okay. Alright, so for the Nintendo president, we actually say something nice. And for Tom Clancy... Oh, God. Oh, I killed him.
Sorry about that, everybody. I do apologise.
There you go, his death's on Wikipedia.
Oh, well, there we go. A brief illness at St. John's Hoy near Baltimore.
It clearly was brief. It finished him off pretty damn. Alright, well, no more disrespect. The dude...
No, sorry, Mr. Clancy. No, not Mr. Clancy, Mr. Clancy's relatives.
This is more your thing, which is, I guess, why I kind of joke a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy didn't really influence anything for me.
Oh, right. Well, Tom Clancy, he wrote several... Let's get everything straight. He had a habit of... He'd write, some of the books in the series, then he'd get a lot of ghostwriters to carry on for him and write the books for him instead. Have you ever read one of his books?
No, I haven't.
I wouldn't, because they are... Remember we talked a few podcasts about Sturgeon's Law, about 9% of stuff is shit?
Yep.
In the case of his books, you could probably cut out a third of it as non-useful stuff.
So could you literally cut out all those pieces, then stick them all together, and maybe get one book?
Probably. I mean, the original Rainbow Six. If you've never seen it, it must have been a good 2.5 inches wide.
I was going to say, what, 2 pages? For a minute, I was about to say it's about 2.5 pages long.
Yeah, it's a short story. They really well expanded it into the game. No, it's about 2.5. The book must be about 2.5 inches wide, and a normal A5 size book, so pretty weighty tome. I think the first I got through was 100 pages. But thanks to him, we have Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, Hawks, which I'm not.
Yeah, I remember Hawks. That was on the Xbox. I believe.
End War.
Yep.
Which is the voice-controlled strategy game, which they didn't recognise anybody's voice. Very good game that was.
Voice control rocks.
But yeah, I mean, well, I've talked about Rainbow Six previous podcasts and how much it was how much I sort of adored it, and I talked about Ghost Recon, the very first Ghost Recons. We won't talk about Advanced Warfighter. The very sort of earliest Ghost Recons, fantastic games as well. If you like Rainbow Six, you probably like Ghost Recon. I'm not going to lie, I never got into Splinter Cell.
No, I didn't either.
I always found Splinter Cell games to be too linear.
The co-op mode in those were pretty fun, but other than that, they kind of sucked.
I remember ranting and raving about how wonderful the first Splinter Cell was. So I got it, and I played it, and I just thought every level was so linear. Because it's a stealth-based game, but there was only one way through each level, and there wasn't really much for ways you go off. The levels were so bad, well, talking about almost like scripting, but not. They were so set up in such a way, I don't want to say scripting, sort of convoluted.
There was nothing else
convoluted.
You could do.
They were so convoluted that there was only a certain way to do them.
Yep.
Which you might as well have scripting, to be honest with you.
You might as well just put down the control pad.
There was no... and bear in mind, previous stealth games I played, such as Thief and Deus Ex, they felt like a step back to me. So I never quite understood why everybody ranted and raved about how wonderful they were. I never quite got it. Because I thought they were rather poor.
Because weren't they supposed to be kind of an American version of Metal Gear Solid at one point?
I think so.
They were trying to compare Sam Fisher to...
Yeah.
Was Sam Fisher the main character from
yes.
those games? Comparing that dude to Solid Snake at some points and how it was supposed to be the next greatest thing in stealth.
But he just... The trouble was... They just missed out. I mean, it had some cool features. It had like the camera modes where you had like your thermal stuff, which is kind of cool. But they just seemed there was just only really one way for each level, so it was more like a puzzled set of rooms. There was no sort of flay. There was not like you were given a building you could work your way in and out of it. It's just, yeah, I was never impressed by them.
It was a very arcadey console-y game.
Linear experience,
really.
yeah.
You know, kind of like the Rainbow Six games on console.
Yeah.
They would be a straight line. Splinter Cell became a straight line. I think the only one that actually did translate all right on console, at least, was Ghost Recon. Or did it?
Did they put
I think they did put
Desert
Ghost Recon.
Siege and Island Thunder? Did they put them on
I think they put Island Thunder on console.
They do it properly though? Was it like Rainbow Six where you sort of name only, or were they actually a proper copy of the game?
Kind of a half and half.
Right.
I mean, it was probably better than Splinter Cell.
I will admit, I really struggled with Ghost Recon. The reason I struggled with it is I'm colourblind, and I find it very hard to tell camouflage against the backgrounds. So the only way I could play it was with night vision on, because night vision sort of highlighted everybody.
Yeah, I used to know a couple of people that kind of semi-cheat. Like they'd have the I guess world detail up to the max, and then just drop character model detail all the way down to the bottom, so there'd just be this mulch.
Yeah,
moving around.
That would be the only way I could play it, because of being colourblind, I couldn't see him. I have the same trouble in Operation in Armored Assault, or Armour as it's called now. Mm-hmm. I have the same trouble in that because I can't, being colourblind, I find it very hard to see camouflage. That's why I can never be a soldier, because I just like be shooting. Who's shooting at us? Oh, he's 2 feet in front of us. I'd be no good as a soldier because I just wouldn't be able to see the colours, which is really annoying because I love that sort of game, but I can't play them. So I have to sort of play with these sort of like, they have these like glowing halos over everybody, to not like glowing clouds over everybody to show them where they are.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I can play them, is because I'm colourblind.
Which is kind of interesting that you don't like, say, some of the kind of more modern shooters where they point where the enemies are out.
Yes, that's all very well, but the trouble with modern shooters is that I don't need the enemies pointed out to me because I can see them.
Yeah, well, it's because they're placed right in front of your face.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I can play most of it, so I don't need that, but when they've got...
What you want is the modern shooter, I guess, UI, to help you out, and then give you the old school style
Proper,
of shooter
yeah.
where you're actually going in. It's
They're camouflaged.
yeah,
as
it's
well.
actually properly tactics,
exactly.
proper tactics and all that kind of crap. So what we're basically saying is, Tom Clancy wrote some books. Pretty cool games came out of it. Not really my cup of tea. Was quite your cup of tea.
Yes. Died very young, relatively speaking. 66 is quite young to die.
Yeah. Unexpected.
Yes, it was very unexpected. I wasn't expecting it. It's like funny, we were only talking about him last podcast about his games, and then he's died.
Yeah.
Topical.
Let's
So
not
there you
talk
go.
about anyone else famous.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Moment of
So
silence.
David Cameron.
We've already. Is he still alive? We'll see next podcast.
Shall I check the Sky News?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Quick moment of silence, though.
There you go. That's enough.
There you go. Wow, respect for the dude behind Rainbow Six. Well, he didn't code the games,
Well, no, exactly.
and he had ghostwriters,
And he goes Rise. And he was rather conservative.
and his picture on that thing was really creepy.
Yeah.
Just saying, that article's picture was crazy, man.
It was, yeah.
The link you clicked had him in a suit, and then he looked some crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, he did actually. We'll put it on the show notes.
Crazy conspiracy theorist dies at 66.
Oh, we're really.
Oh, I'm going to hell for this.
Oh, we're really sorry. I feel so sorry. I feel really guilty now for his poor family. We've just basically insulted him. I said he was fat.
Have they got a lot of money out of it?
Yes.
There you go then. Okay,
No,
I don't
no.
feel. I don't
So
feel
basically, if
bad
you
now.
make a lot of money out of it, we can insult you even after you're dead.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Okay.
Unless they're on
Yeah.
my list of people that I don't insult when they're dead.
Fair enough. Like
Tom Clancy just so happens to be one of the people I don't really.
mind.
No offense, Tom Clancy
No,
from the grave, or his family, but
Yeah.
honestly, nah.
So I think before we move on to our best section, well, we've got one more section to do for that. Before we move on to our best podcast, we need to talk about how hard it is to post a podcast.
Yes, I almost forgot about
my-
that.
Yes, I know. Oh my word.
We've been kind of avoiding trying to talk about this
Yes.
because this is a
Right.
podcast in itself.
Let's run through sort of some facts, okay? We'll ranging times we'll call podcasts 5 minutes. Sitting down, having a cup of tea, having a chat, which you're recording it, and then recording it itself. About 4 hours, was it?
Yeah.
2 hours for the podcast, 2 hours maybe chatting before you
Yeah,
actually started.
pretty much.
Editing it, we said about 6 hours.
Yeah, it took a wee while.
Okay.
I messed up.
Getting it online, about 3 days.
It was a bit of a mess.
Oh.
And I have to. Let's just kind of rewind a bit. It's not the first time. This is not my first podcast.
No.
So it is your first experience, and I was very
Yeah.
interested when you said you were willing to set it up. I was really quite like, oh, how's he going to find this one? This is going to be kind of fun.
Oh, it was okay. Let's all go through the first. The first poem we come across was finding a name.
Yep.
You will be amazed at how many. We had some brilliant names. How many names were took up already? To websites have been registered, but no website existed.
Yeah, basically domain squatters absolutely everywhere, and you'll find it. It's going to get worse as time goes on. All the cool names are taken. If you weren't there during the dot-com boom,
Except for obviously Round Nerds, which wasn't taken. We were very lucky. That's obviously a cool
yeah, we're
name.
so badass.
Yeah. Oh.
That and I kind of, secretly murdered the person that had it before us.
Oh, right, okay. I wonder why it's only come available.
Yeah. Well,
I know a Mineshaft if you need to sort anything out.
oh, brilliant, mate.
There we
Just
are.
make
Just
sure
make
the
you
Siri
switch the
doesn't.
iPhone turned
Just make
off.
sure it don't tag us, dude.
Yeah, no
Seriously.
worries.
I mean, oh god, it's so difficult to.
We must have got 50 names.
Let's put it this way: we had an A4 page and a bit full of names, little descriptions to go with them.
Yeah.
And we only had a couple of rules. We had to be able to have a podcast. The podcast has to be there, so that I'd have to have website, Twitter account,
YouTube account.
yeah, YouTube
Facebook
account,
page.
Facebook
Twitch
page,
TV.
yeah, Twitch,
And obviously Gmail.
yeah, and that was. I mean, all right, that's quite a lot, but
But relatively speaking, it's if one's free, it should all be free.
you'd hope.
Theoretically, you'd hope.
But no!
Oh, no.
I almost gave up actually during the naming process. I was like,
We
we're never
did.
going to have a name. We might as
No.
well just kind of get some crayons and just throw them at the wall and hope
Yeah.
that eventually when we join the dots we'll come up with a name.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
we had some really sort of stylized. We had some names. My favourite one was Perpetual Beta.
Mhm.
That was my favourite, but yet someone had already took that. Some business somewhere took that, and again, domain that goes to nowhere.
Yep.
I'm trying to think some of the other ones we had. I can't think of them now. We had a whole list of them.
Half-Life 3, that was a good
Yeah,
one.
that
But
was a
some
good one.
random
Some
company named
kind of-
Steam had that.
Really? I thought it'd be someone called named Valve.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
Valve,
yeah.
Steam,
I've actually to Mr. G. Newell. I don't know what he does, or...
Gaben.
Yeah, G. Newell, yeah. No, some really cool names, but yeah, it's just...
I've just realised, no wonder we're making more mistakes. It's gone midnight.
Yeah, that's true.
So, other than the names, what
Right.
other issues did you have? Because it's not really difficult
Right.
to post a podcast, but it
No.
can be a bit of a mess.
Setting up the word... Every individual thing is easy. So setting up a WordPress account, easy.
Pretty normal, yeah.
That's fine. Also, the reg Gmail. I will say I can't stand Google. I do not like. I find the Google Pages, YouTube stuff very unintuitive.
They have really heavily fucked up YouTube.
I
Recently.
I still can't figure out. I still can't quite figure out how to get onto our YouTube channel.
See, that's why
That's why
glad-
you're in charge of YouTube, because I can't quite figure it out.
I mean, I don't even like... I mean, I've got a YouTube channel from way back in 2005, 2006, when YouTube was founded. My interface stays the same. Every other new YouTube account has this random crap, like, hey, here's your YouTube channel thing, then there's settings page number 1, settings page number 2,
It's-
your Google Plus settings page. It's like, why?
This is my biggest annoyance. Is we have a Google Plus page.
Yep.
Google Plus has no API released which allows you to post stuff to it direct. So, for example, I've got our WordPress account linked up to Twitter, to Facebook. So when I post a blog post on WordPress, it automatically posts onto Twitter and automatically posts onto Facebook. So I don't have to go and manually do it,
Yep.
which is great. Saves me a lot of time. Oh, but not Google Plus. You can't post to Google Plus. Now you can. So WordPress will now let you post to a Google Plus profile, but as we're not a person, because we are a group, we can't have a Google Plus profile, and you won't. And it's clever enough. You can't like put Rand Nerd as your first and surname. It will recognise it's not real names and won't let you have one. So there's no way to post to our page. I have to manually do it, which is why if you're part of the Google Plus page, you'll only have all I have post on there is podcasts, because I just ain't got time to post every other thing on it.
It is pretty damned annoying, especially when Google own YouTube. And
Yes.
there's the only way you can get it to go on to, YouTube won't even directly post to Google Plus. It's not automatic. You have to click the share button on your own video, which then balks the analytics because, well, you've had to click share. It's like, oh, hey, someone shared it. No, I shared it to have it posted to our group or whatever. It's just dumb.
The other note about if Google Page, it keeps telling me that it's not quite set up properly because we're meant to be able to put this like backwards link to it, but you can't put a backwards link onto we're using WordPress.com account, not .org. There's a difference.
Yeah,
.com,
one of them, .com is set up for you. Kind of like if you were to go to Facebook, you set up a profile.
You can't sort of get into nitty gritty back when you can't get into like the PHP, MySQL code, any of the HTML. You can't really access it.
But .org would literally give you the installation file to whap it onto your own server and then fiddle around with your code and all that kind of crap.
So, because based from our point of view, WordPress is easier. Knowing about WordPress, you can't by default post podcast to it. You had to buy a space upgrade.
Yeah. Which they never used to do.
No, that's a recent thing. They did actually say that. So the cheapest space to go was 10 gigs, which means we've got now enough space to post something like 400 podcasts.
Something like that, depending on how...
Depending on how long these last, which as we're on to 2 minutes, 8 minutes already.
Amazing.
And we've still got 2 more sections to go.
And we thought this was going to be a short podcast.
We did actually. I've been fleshing it out for us to try and. I've said we're going to try and fill some dead air here, but we've done all right. Graphics. Oh man! Now this is my other noise with Facebook and WordPress. We made a graphic up temporarily, and I think it was yourself who made it, but we missed the S off,
Yep, I was a bit quick in the old typing
and it was
saying
Rand Nerd. So we initially had that on there.
which, by the way, is the name of the WordPress page. It's randnerd.wordpress.com or randnerds.com.
which is the one I say use because that's the one that's set to go to now. It's actually default domain now.
Yeah.
So we did it wrong, which is fair enough. We thought, well, that's okay. We can soon correct it. We corrected it later on, rebuilt it. I've now deleted that old picture file from YouTube, from WordPress. It's deleted according to WordPress. Somehow, whenever I post to Facebook, it still pops up with the old logo. And the new iOS in Safari, that automatically downloads a picture, like logo for each website.
Yeah.
It's downloaded the old one. I don't know where it's found it. Because it's gone. I've deleted it. All the references to it are gone. All the blog posts are gone. It's hidden somewhere on their system. That it
wouldn't be just cached, would it? Or...
It must be, but it's deleted. It should know. It's been deleted a good couple of weeks now. Well, no, it's longer than that, actually. I deleted it within a few days.
Yeah.
So we're talking over probably a month and a half now. I've got rid of it. By now, they shouldn't know I don't want it. Or I should have the option to permanently delete it properly.
So you say that, but it's kind of funny because I can remember when... This has been going on for years. I can remember when guys used to post podcasts. They had a graphic that they started with, and then, I don't know, a year down the line, they changed the graphic. They'd post another maybe 30, 40 episodes, and they'd still be using the old graphic. Depending on where you went, you would either get the new one or the old one.
So... It's just funny little faults. Oh, then, of course, iTunes. Oh, iTunes. So with iTunes... Right, first of all, you've got 2 steps to go through for iTunes. You can't just... Well, you can just post your feed, your RSS feed, which is really simple syndication.
Yes.
Yeah. You can post that directly to iTunes, but that's a stupid way to do it because if at some point later we move servers, the RSS feed will be different, so we need to repost to iTunes.
Yeah, there is a way that you can trick that by tweaking a piece of your code on your site in the header. But seeing as we're using WordPress.com,
we can't do that.
We can't do that. So
we use another service called FeedBurner, which is run by our good friends Google. Mm-hmm. FeedBurner, I will say, is quite a good bit of well, I suppose it's not really software. It's just
Google didn't develop it, from what I remember.
It's a good thing to me. Basically, what FeedBurner does is it links to you put your RSS feed in it. You can then change your settings, including a lot of your settings for iTunes, so you can put descriptions in it, proper titles, which is what I did. It also keeps track of all your subscribers as well. Then at the end of it, produces a new RSS feed that you submit to iTunes. While it may sound more complicated, it means that if we move server, all I have to do is update the RSS feed on Google or FeedBurner, and I don't have to do anything to iTunes. iTunes will still find it because the FeedBurner redirects it for us.
Yeah, see, I can remember one of the first podcasts I ever posted, I was manually typing the RSS feed. Right, and I gave iTunes the direct link to the feed. It was such a mission trying to find a way to get iTunes to refresh to where I'd put all the new content when I moved everything.
Why? I don't know if iTunes, why have they not set up? I mean, you have to set up you have to have an account to submit a feed. So, in my mind, they should be set up such a way that in your account you can manage your feeds and you can
tie it to your account.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got to submit, you have to have an account to submit one. So you submit to iTunes, then you have to wait a few days for iTunes to say it's shit. Don't post on here ever again. We're deleting your account for good. We don't want you touching our software. Or say it's okay.
Format C.
Format C. Yeah, you have now been banned. All your Apple products have been disabled. You will no longer be allowed to do any updates. Your phone's been converted to iOS 1.
We're going to come and take your iPhone and we're going to give you something else.
We got ourselves onto iTunes. Thankfully, it got the right logo. That was a thankful thing. Then it's time to launch our first podcast.
Yep, the first episode goes up. And the graphic isn't pulled down from the feed. It's actually pulled directly out of the fucking MP3 file.
Which we hadn't actually embedded.
My fault.
Yes, but the trouble is now, we can't, on WordPress.com, if you, say we made a new version of episode 1, we embedded the logo in it, if we then went on to our WordPress account and uploaded that to replace the old one, it would change the name of it, and you couldn't change it to replace the old one directly. Because, as you say, it keeps the old one for a while. So basically, we're stuck with that. We can't easily change it.
Nope.
Not easily. It's possible, but I won't do that because people can still be want to listen to the
podcast. Let's just not mess with it.
We're not going to mess until we've got 50 podcasts on our belt, and I can be pretty sure people are going to be probably downloading the first one, or they already have done.
Yeah.
Then I'll change it. and get it right, just because it niggles me at the moment not having it proper.
It is a tad annoying. It does make me wonder though, because we are only submitted directly to iTunes, or you can pull us directly from the website.
Yeah.
We're not on services like Zune or I don't, what else do people listen to podcasts? Someone tell me what other services
I did
there are.
I did go a list of about 15 other places that do host podcasts. So I was
host podcasts. They have a directory.
Not host,
podcast.
a directory podcast. Sorry, that's what I meant. Which I am going to look through the popular ones. I'm going to submit ours to them as well.
Okay.
Some aren't very popular. Like there's one which is a business podcast. I don't think in any way, shape, or form we can convince them this is a business podcast.
I'm quite tempted to see if I can get us on the GFQ network, guys from Queen's network. They also have there's like a radio group. I can't remember what they're called, but I'm going to see if I can get us on there.
That'd be good.
Just randomly throwing that out there. But yeah, keep going. So there's a business.
There's a few which we can't go. Obviously, we can't convince people that we're a business podcast. So.
Well, then there's like Zune.
There's Zune store. But until someone says I listen on Zune, I'm one of the people.
Well, people can pull it down on an Xbox, but considering how many Xbox, because the Zune is now a marketplace. They scrapped the hardware. It's now just a store or a piece of software.
So instead of calling it like the the Xbox Live Marketplace for music.
Yeah, which would have made more sense. They decided to go with the branding they already had for an MP3 player that just kind of burned.
Which was a brown poop-coloured MP3 player.
If you actually look at the settings menus for the Windows Phone 8 or whatever it is they've got now, it's actually just the Zune menus.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the same font, it's the same style and everything. Oh, so there you go, that's what happened to the Zune.
Where else did we have problems? I'm trying to remember. Okay, it was, at the time, it was sort of constant heartache. I was up to, I must have started fiddling with this at probably about 9 in the morning, and I was still going at it till gone sort of 1 a.m. that day. Yeah,
because I can remember us actually talking on Skype when we were trying to set this up, and it seemed so much more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah, it was just getting everything to we had some interesting bugs, so I thought it'd be clever if I linked I linked WordPress to post to Twitter and Facebook. I thought it'd be good if I could link Facebook to Twitter, so that if I post on Facebook, go on to Twitter. Trouble with that was, WordPress would post to Facebook, Facebook would then detect that as a new post and post it straight to Twitter, but WordPress posted to Twitter as well. So
we ended up with a double
treat, yeah. So in the end, I deleted the Facebook connectivity, which was actually harder than you think.
So rather than, a tick box.
Yeah, you have to sort of really fiddle with it. And just the Facebook page itself is really sort of oddly laid out.
It is quite messy, because I had to set one up for the business recently. I was like, why is this so... It's not complicated, but we've both had to study UI design.
Yes. I mean...
Why?
What I would say is I'm now quite proud of the way. I mean, it's not the most... I will say, around our blog, we are using the default template of WordPress. But do you know what? With a bit of work, I think it looks all right.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'm quite happy with it now. I'm quite proud of it. And do you know, it serves purpose. We don't need a really flashy Flash website to... Yeah.
People can see that you've tried. It's been personalised. It's not quite literally just, I'm just going to make a website, and then they go over there and they just leave it completely stock.
Unfortunate that the week we were posting it and fiddling with it, I actually went off. I had to go off work sick because I had whooping cough.
Mm-hmm. Which is if you listen to episode 1 where he almost died.
That was me. That was what was happening to me. I was actually dying of whooping cough, and I managed to infect all Luke's children as well.
Yeah, thanks very much for that.
That's all right. No,
that's brilliant.
So I was dying that, and so I had to have a week off work, which was actually quite good because I managed to catch up on all the gaming I missed out on in the last few years. I literally played about 5 games that I've been meaning to play and never got round to. I downloaded them all, played them all for the week.
Next time we'll have you record them, and then you can do my Let's Plays for me.
Yeah, we can do, yeah. So I was right, because I could literally spend sort of hours a day just fiddling with getting it just right, and I'm happy with it now. It's just right. Of course, now the hardest bit is just getting content on there, because it just takes so much. You'd be surprised how much time it takes you to write stuff. I mean, if there's anyone out there wants to do a little writing, or maybe sort of Let's Play, also wants to come join, be a bit of a contributor to us,
or perhaps even if you just sent us stuff that's, let's say there's something you're passionate about, just send us some bullet points, and then we'll kind of expand on it.
Flesh it out.
Just kind of guest posts, maybe whatever.
We won't just let we'll be a bit more selective about it. We won't just let any old but send us stuff via email. We'll take the email address at the end of the podcast. You can set us, or do you find it on the blog website anyway, randnerds.com.
Give us something to talk about as well.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause
do
we
our
were
work
supposed
for us, please.
to do the podcast for us.
Well, no, yeah. We'll record it. You do all the editing and all the uploading. We just sort of sit there, and when the ad revenue money comes in, we'll just pocket it. We haven't actually got
Ad revenue on WordPress.com.
Yeah, we haven't actually. No, we actually no. We haven't.
You can't do that.
No, you can't.
And just we have mentioned actually that iTunes and places don't actually host podcasts. That is a lesson that all people who run podcasts learn the hard way. Although iTunes kind of trademark podcast or whatever it is, they don't host anything.
No.
We have to pay for that. You have to pay for the storage. You have to host it. If you delete it, although it's still linked on iTunes, it doesn't go anywhere.
Basically, all iTunes has is it's a bit like iTunes merely has the address of a property. It doesn't actually know the property still exists.
Yes.
We have to maintain it. iTunes is just a directory of it.
Yeah, we have to maintain all of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Well, we say we. You do the videos, I do all the podcasts.
We say I do all the videos. I haven't really done anything, which is the other thing. Is where you've said it takes so long to write a post.
Yeah.
It takes a decade to do videos. Well, it's not exactly hard.
But it's just time consuming.
Yeah, if you haven't really got the time to sit there and do it, then
trouble is, I'm not very good at English. I'm writing. Well, I can speak the language, but
I can't.
No, you can't.
That's why you do most of the talking.
I do most of the talking and most of the writing. Trouble is, I have to read my stuff about a dozen times to make sure it's correct, and even then, it's not perfect. So it just takes time. I reckon I'm trying to do I'm trying to do 2 posts a week.
Yeah.
Is my goal. I haven't done it this week, but I'm trying to do 2 posts a week and just find something to talk about is the hardest part because you just don't know what you post and you're interested in.
And we don't want to regurgitate what everyone else is talking about.
If there's 5 websites that say, this has been announced today, there's no point me posting saying, hey, this has been announced, unless I can add or contribute something to it. So I try and sort of do stuff that's a bit more, so like I've done a lot of the classic stuff, I've done my own reviews, which are your own thoughts and stuff on things. We are sort of expanding it, and I'm hoping that over the course of the next 3 months we will get more expensive. It'd be great if we get a little group of authors on there.
Which would be cool.
That'd be really cool. Who could, let's say, do all our work for us.
For free?
For free, yeah, we're not paying you. That was rather threatening, I just realised. We're not paying you, don't come near us.
Do all of our work, but go away.
Yeah.
Do it at a distance.
But yeah, if anyone's interested, let us know. Send us some sample work. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to be a grammar Nazi over it, as long as it's readable.
Yeah, just as long as it's not written in crayon.
Basically, look at how I write, and if you can do better, if you can do as good as that, which to be fair, most sort of 10-year-olds probably could.
If you can spell your own name and your IQ is higher than your shore size, well,
Shore
there you go.
size.
Instant fail. Well, that's me out.
We let Luke post on the website, and there you go.
If your IQ is higher than mine, which is probably higher than your shoe size, you're pretty good.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
I mean, was there anything else? I mean, other than, I've mentioned that iTunes doesn't host anything.
I think what happens is like most things that we see it's like having kids, isn't it? You rose tinted goggles now. I think, wasn't that bad?
That was hell.
At the time, it's like, oh god,
it was absolute chaos.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just, I've seen so many podcast hosts fall into the trap of just regurgitating what everyone else is talking about, writing everything that everyone else is talking about.
It's like how, like today, for example, we've not talked about many new games that have come out. We've
avoided stuff like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, because we've not been playing. We're not going to talk about stuff we've not been playing.
Exactly.
Because there's no point. We're going to talk about what we have been playing, which in my case was a game from about a year ago, and a game about farming, which probably no one out there plays apart from me.
And shamefully taking the piss out of the dead. Which isn't a game we've been playing, but if it was a game,
I don't know enough from the bed, but being part of the podcast,
we might have to make a game
indie
where you
game?
take the piss out of the dead.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, indie game. Yeah. Sorry, Tom Clancy.
No, we're not. Well,
so
it's a nightmare to host a podcast.
So I mean, we are going to be on flashback. I mean, I was going to talk a little bit about the You're Being Hunted update. To be honest, I covered most of it in the last podcast, so I'm saying it is good. It has improved a lot of the problems I had with it. It has been improved.
Do you want to just be a little bit more specific on what it's fixed?
Okay,
not
okay. I don't want to get into too much details. Well, the biggest one, the old one, was distracting the robots, where you had like glass balls and rocks I always found that if you threw them, they didn't distract them enough for you to actually grab a fragment to retrieve it and run away.
So they kind of click back to you too quick.
Now you've got things like the first game I played, a little toy train.
Okay.
And I put it on the ground, and I sort of I saw about 10 seconds sort of manoeuvre around the site. Then the train started hooting its little horn. All of us went over to it, and I was on the opposite side of them, so I could run up and pick the piece. That worked well, and that's more so what I'm doing. They've improved night. Night is now really dark. You get a torch so you can see at night, but they instantly, like, obviously, as you all know, if you see someone walking outside with a torch, you instantly can see them. Yeah. So night basically does that to you.
How is the whole navigation? Because you said about the fireflies, was it?
I'll be honest with you, I've not come across a scanner yet. I've not found it yet. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I've not found it yet. In about 4 hours.
Somewhere there.
It's somewhere out there, but I've not found it yet. So I've not been able to see how good that is.
It's under your top hat.
Yes. I will say robots seem more aggressive. That might be a psychological thing, but they feel more aggressive, and I think they hunt you more. But whether they are, that might just be my interpretation because it was at night, and I was probably stumbling around a lot more than I normally would.
Right.
But yeah, overall it's good. I haven't seen any more updates due on it, so yeah. But it's definitely still, it's getting better. So get it, buy it now.
I'm still looking to pick it up.
Yeah, good.
One day, maybe.
No. Have you got anything for flashback?
Nothing at all.
Perfect.
Other than being addicted to Final Fantasy 14.
That's only a flashback, just sort of the general state of things as they are now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one day I might not be addicted. Don't worry about it. The world won't end too quickly. David Cameron.
Perfect. So, weird news.
Here we go. My mind's already been blown once. I forgot what it was to blow my mind.
Well, I've skipped a couple of ones I thought were a bit weird. But I had one earlier about a cat at number 10. But I thought we were getting a bit cat heavy.
Yeah, we did have a cat before.
We had cat last podcast.
Mayor what's his bollocks?
Mayor Stubbs. And we had a cat in episode 1.
Any news on snails?
Snails, no further news. I don't know whether we've beaten them back, whether they've called the army in.
I was going to say the Americans probably nuked them.
Yeah, probably. Which is not very good for us. Oh, we have got a bit of a flashback, actually. Remember in episode 1 I talked about Messiah having his name force changed?
Yes.
It was appealed. The judge has ruled in favour of the mother. Messiah's got his name back.
Oh, bollocks.
Yeah, Messiah is what? Which means he's now got a lifelong life of going to schools and saying, your name's not Messiah, you're a very naughty boy.
See, that's the... this is going to sound really dumb, but I know that kid's going to get bullied to hell and back.
He's going to get
it was
bullied.
bad enough for me being named Luke, and everyone's like, hey, it's Star Wars. Like, shut up.
Oh yeah, I never thought that connection.
Oh, piss, here we go.
That's really good. Strong.
I fucking hate you. Don't make me get my fucking lightsaber out and beat you to death. I am the master fucking Jedi.
Fair enough. That sounds like a weird slash fit master fucking Jedi. Yeah. That's our weird news flashback.
Thunder tits.
Flashback. Which Thunder tits really is a flashback, isn't it, in a way? Okay.
Front side flash.
Well, Luke, me and you have been computer people for a long time.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, what would you say if I said to you the following... I want you to think the first thing that comes to your mind if I said the following combination of keys to you. Control, delete.
Windows is fucked up.
Yeah. Or, if you're logging onto a system, it's what you press to bring up the login window. Bill Gates has described this is used Control-Delete command on PC as a mistake.
Yeah, pretty much like Windows, really.
He said it was designed. He said it was. He blamed IBM, an IBM engineer called David Bradley. I didn't know that's his name. He had wanted to use Control-Alt-ESC, but he said he found too. This is what David Bradley said. But he found it too easy to bump the left side of the keyboard and reboot the computer accidentally to switch to Control-Del, which was impossible to do with one hand. Which I can see the logic. Cool.
Apple continue to use their left-hand side.
Yeah, but Apple is a bit brighter, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, no. But, okay, moving on.
Now, apparently, this shortcut was known as the three-fingered salute, which I've never heard of.
No. Never heard of it.
No, so this is something that newspapers come up with, that no one has, or one person has said, no one's come up with. Bill Gates originally wanted us to use a single button, but IBM didn't want to give us that single button design.
Okay.
that wasn't really particularly mind-blowing news. I know it wasn't, but I just thought it was interesting as it was computer
It
related.
has given me a bit of a headache, though, considering we didn't know about it. And one of the things sad enough, in university, we had to write about the history of operating systems and development and all that crap, and no one knew about it. So this is history that's just popped out from nowhere.
Have you ever considered a job, perhaps, in the police force?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you were going to be a police biker at one point, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay, well, be wary, because things can happen beyond your expectations. Okay. This is America. You'll notice that most of these strange news stories do tend to come from America. I don't know why.
Or be reported by the BBC.
Well, BBC had not much on them this month. I had to go mainly through
Where
Sky.
was the last one from?
That was Sky and BBC.
Oh. Bloody hell.
I'm just double checking them now. So, a policeman went to an
airport where there was a car covered in tickets.
Yeah, that's right. Policeman who went to a house was expecting to deal with a burglary, but when he arrived, he found a woman in labour. Yep. He went in with his gun drawn, apparently, explaining trouble. Get out of her! I don't know.
Put your hands
He
on.
He was in Texas, though, so obviously babies are probably armed in Texas.
Probably.
Now this is a bit which I find interesting. A young boy pointed Officer Kemp to the bathroom where his mother, now this is the bit that you've got to bear in mind, who had apparently not realised she was pregnant. Now, you've had kids, well, not you personally.
My wife was pretty damn sure she was pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always thought when you had children, I'm not having kids myself, thought that there's quite some obvious signs. I thought it was like a bump, something obvious.
Actually, we have known some women to carry incredibly neat.
But I would have thought there'd been some signs that you were pregnant.
Oh yeah, vomiting.
Yeah. I thought that the newspaper probably didn't believe anyone because they said who had apparently not realised. I thought the newspaper didn't even believe her that she and the fact that he was getting birth. So he helped deliver the baby, and there you go. He had to wait for the ambulance to come and cut. He had to wait for the ambulance to come and cut the umbilical cord. Not the ambulance, but the people on the ambulance come and cut the umbilical cord. Yeah. Yeah, very small ambulance or very long umbilical cord.
Just lay there, love.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Careful.
Back it up.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, I'm never becoming a police officer now.
No, also not. Now.
It'd be fun if I was on a bike, ambulance bike. You can cut the cord.
That'd be alright, yeah.
Just no.
Yeah, you have good driving skills to do that though. Now I'll move. Oh, don't reach out to him.
Just ran her over. What, the door or the mother? I don't know yet.
Now, obviously, everybody's a big problem. Like we had the Olympic Stadium trying to reuse it and buildings that be reused when they go past the use. So, there's a Brazil World Cup going on, which is some game called football, I believe, where men kick the ball around the field and try and put it into a net.
I'd say that to Americans.
Yeah,
they've got a completely different idea. Football involves holding it.
Yeah. That's not true. The only Americans call American football. Everybody else in the world calls our football.
Mm-hmm. What we call American football is rugby, America.
No, it's not even that, because Americans wear armour. We don't bother with that.
Girls.
We're going to get so flamed by the Americans now.
Look,
we're just bear-based.
They're trying to make hand eggs seem more aggressive, like, I don't know, ice hockey.
We're just, every week, all we do is bear-bait them. It's just going to come crashing down on our ears, you realise? See, there's a chopper over there.
I'm looking for the hillbilly who come past with the shotgun.
There'll be the Marines coming, you know. Break your window down.
Good job, guys.
We'll see your wife on them.
Set my kids on them.
Yeah, but they could team up. Okay, so Brazil World Cup next year, and you are a judge, Sabrina Marquis.
Right.
I'm sure it's completely pronounced wrong.
So I'm Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah, he's a president of the group, and there's a 44,000 seat stadium being built at cost 172 million pounds.
Wow.
It will only host 4 World Cup matches. The area itself doesn't have a big football tradition. So, what use do you think this Sabrina Marquis came up with?
Brothel.
No.
Not close.
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe in a way.
Maybe in a... Okay, well, now I'm getting creeped out.
Okay. He suggested it become a prisoner processing centre.
That's amazing, that is. Celebration of football, and then if you're nicked, you go there.
Yeah. I mean, it's only processing centre. I mean, I don't think they need to be that big. How many prisons does Brazil have? They need 44,000 seats for them to wait in. Do you when they all get all numbers as they come in, like you get the
Yeah, like you just get like at the deli count, you get a ticket.
Oh no, 44,002.
Sounds like the American DMV.
Yeah. Cashier number 5, please. Prison warden number 5, please.
That must suck. I mean, how would that even... That said, some pretty crazy things can happen at a football ground. They'll probably all just murder each other.
Do you think the idea is they're going to kill two birds with one stone at the very end of the football game? They're just going to close the doors and arrest everyone and just post them as prisoners straight away?
That would probably work.
It would save a lot of time.
Or they could just really make it a coliseum. Football rights get pretty violent.
Hey, perhaps we could convince Games Workshop to team up with FIFA and make Blood Bowl a real sport.
That'd be brilliant.
That would be good. If you've not seen Blood Bowl, basically Games Workshop, who are a miniatures game playing, of which I am a player of.
Look at him, look
why
at
don't I
me.
just wink at the microphone? No one can hear me wink.
No one
Wink.
can see you either.
Wink. There you go.
Now you know.
There you know. I don't know why I'm winking. Well, that's all slightly creepy as well now.
He's proud.
And they made this game called Blood Bowl, where basically you get these little models and they go and they sort of kill each other. And it's basically American football, but not quite so bloody.
American football, but not quite. Mind blown again.
Yeah. So, I reckon they could perhaps do Blood Bowl tournaments.
They could do.
They could do.
They just make it a coliseum, dude. Seriously. Yeah. Wasn't it Brazil? Someone tell me. Wasn't it Brazil where they beheaded a referee or something? Or a player was beheaded?
You're not thinking of the Aztecs who used to behead the...
No, there was literally, in recent history, as in like the last year, either a player or a referee was beheaded.
Deliberately?
Yeah! Over something. Like, they literally stormed the pitch.
Okay.
Rock on!
That's a tough job.
Apparently so. Don't piss off the fans.
Most people I've seen refereeing matches are usually sort of men in their late 50s, so it would be hard to catch.
Yeah, but in fairness, in the UK, they're all kind of... Footballers are overpaid pansies, so... Well, I've offended another group of people.
Yeah.
What's the next story?
Footballers won't be able to figure out how to handle the podcast. We're fine.
Oh dear.
We are really fun. We could tell it's late at night because we're losing our inhibitions and starting to insult people really badly. You know, just so you know, we were up to 11 subscribers, 3 of which were me. One of which is Luke's wife. So we actually got 7 people. That's going to be down to 4. And it might even go down to 3 because I'll probably subscribe in a couple more, to be honest, after this podcast.
You'll be so offended.
I'll just have the 1 subscription.
Should just be seriously. The quality of this podcast has gone downhill since episode 2.
Yeah, it has. We're doomed. I think that we'll get emails saying, "Please fade."
Please just stop.
Please
don't
stop.
rebrand. Just stop.
Yeah.
So go on. What else?
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're getting
because I have to say that the mind blowingness is not as.
It's not been a good month for weird news stories.
I was gonna say, there's not been as much grey matter.
I've got 2 more, which I'm hoping will push you over the edge. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We've been abroad. We've been to. No, did you come to us with France?
I didn't go to France, but I've been to Spain.
Okay. Did you have any? Before you went? Did you sort of take time learning local customs or anything like that before you went across?
I went to bloody Spain. All they do is drink and sleep.
Okay.
There you go, Spanish offended.
Yeah, smash it. We need a little checkbox now for people who
seriously, we're going to be playing offensive bingo.
Yeah. So, as we're getting a lot more Chinese tourists now, Chinese authorities...
now we're taking the piss out of the Chinese.
No, this is a proper story.
I like Chinese.
Chinese authorities have issued tourists with a handbook telling them how to behave when going abroad.
Okay.
Apparently Chinese people have got a stereotype of uncivilized behaviour, which Vice Premier Wang Yang said in May damaged the image of the Chinese people.
Okay.
So the National Tourism Administration has published a 64-page guidebook for civilised tourism, including illustrations.
Most of it's probably pictures.
Yeah. They've got pithy guides telling us how to behave, but this book elaborated in far more detail. So, I want to read some of these guidelines out.
Okay.
See what you think. Okay. These are some of them. Keep nose hair neatly trimmed.
Okay.
Okay. Don't pick your nose in public.
Okay.
If you have to pick your teeth, don't use your fingers.
Okay, I don't think anyone around here gives a toss about that one.
Okay, guys. Now, visualize this. Don't use public toilets for a long time or leave footprints on the seat.
Wait. Oh yeah, no, I understand that one. I do get that one. Okay.
Yeah. Don't urinate in swimming pools.
No, I don't think there are that many people in this country that give a crap about that rule either.
Don't drink soup straight from the bowl or make slurping sounds when eating noodles.
I don't think anyone gives a crap about that here either.
No,
do we need a guidebook like that?
We must do. Perhaps we can get them to send us a copy.
Maybe we've got the wrong book.
Maybe we have. Shall I give them a ring and see if they can send us a copy as well so we can learn how to behave in our own country?
It's like, hey yo Wang, I think you've got our
Wang
book.
Yang. Sorry.
Wang Yang, dude, you've got our book.
Now, don't take life jackets on planes as someone else might need them. Apparently people are taking life jackets underneath the seats thinking they're freebies.
Oh, right, I was going to say, like, wait, so when the plane's going down, Chinese people, don't touch the life jackets, you're expendable.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that. I was just like, what?
No, it's apparently they're taking that they think that they're freebies. Apparently people think they're freebies taking them. This...
Why didn't I think of that?
Visitors to Germany should only snap fingers to beckon dogs, not humans.
Okay. Only in Germany? Is that literally just says Germany?
Visitors to Germany. So I thought, apparently in the UK it's fine to snap your fingers and call someone over.
God, that is like a stabbable offence around here.
Yeah. Do you know you can just go like, here boy, come here.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, you know a bit about Japanese culture, so I want to know if this is correct. When in Japan, do not play with your clothes or hair during a meal.
I know a lot of places that don't like that.
Yeah.
So, don't.
In Spain, women should always wear earrings in public, otherwise they may be considered effectively naked.
Wait, what?
In Spain, women should always wear earrings in public, otherwise they may be considered effectively naked. I'm sure I've seen Spanish women without earrings.
Dude, I went to Spain. They're just like yobs. No offense to the Spanish.
So we've already offended them once. You can't once you offend someone once, you can't really offend them again, can you? Because
I can try.
Offended.
Let's make them worse.
They've already offended.
They might have killed themselves.
Well,
Spain gets wiped off the face of the
that's
planet.
sort of plan. Well, that's what's probably the offence then, really, doesn't it?
Actually, no, because they were probably all British people that I saw in Spain.
Yeah. Depends what part of Spain you go to.
I saw the Essex lot.
Yeah.
There you go, people from Essex. Offended!
Another one off the list.
Tick, I'm done pretty good
Perfect.
tonight.
Yeah, we are. Do you realize if we edit out all the stuff where we offend people, this poll's only about 20 minutes long?
20 minutes, you're looking a bit high, ain't you? You're probably talking about, negative 15.
Dear. Okay.
Crack time.
Last one. Have you ever had trouble with blockages in any sort of like plumbing supplies you've got? Have you had any trouble with blockages?
Don't get me started. I was training to be a plumber. Yes.
Did you ever find them having to be jellyfish?
The hell?
A huge cluster jellyfish, okay, now this is where it gets worrying, has forced one of the world's largest nuclear reactors to shut down. This is in Sweden. They had to scramble reactor number 3 on Sunday after tons of jellyfish clogged the pipes of bringing cool water to the plant's turbines. Scramble is basically when they go, if we don't do something, this reactor's going to melt down type mode. That is literally like, this is it mode.
Jellyfish?
Jellyfish, yes. By Tuesday, so this happened on Sunday, by Tuesday the pipes have been cleaned of the jellyfish and engineers are preparing to restart the reactor, which at 1400 megawatts of output is the largest boiling water reactor in the world.
Jellyfish.
Strangely, this is not a new problem for nuclear reactors. Last year, California-based Diablo Canyon facility had to shut its number 2 reactor down after a sea salp, which is a type of jellyfish, clogged intake pipes. And in fact, the same nuclear reactor, another unit got shut down in 2005 due to a sudden jellyfish influx. What about nuclear reactors that jellyfish like? I don't know.
Wow. We're going to have to, seriously, David Attenborough, get on that.
Yeah.
Jellyfish.
Has that saved the segment?
Yes, it has. What the... What? Well, in fairness, the fact that I got a chance to offend Spain and Essex all in the same thing as well with the whole China thing, and offend the Chinese.
Well, we're not offended. We're just reading the same book they gave out. It's not our fault they're reading out their own book, is it?
We should have that book.
We should do. Do you want to get like a British version made to tell the British? Because I do sort of find it slightly disturbing when I've been abroad a couple of times, but I do dislike the way that British people have when they go abroad just acting like British. Yeah. The British idea is sort of like, if you go to see people in other countries, you speak a bit loud, a bit slow, and they might eventually catch up.
I actually did. Have you ever read some of them kind of random complaints Thomas Cook has had from people going overseas? Yeah. Like saying how the sand wasn't pictured how it was. Why are
there so many Spanish people about?
Yeah, they're all foreigners. Like, what the fuck do you expect? You're in a foreign country, dumbass.
Yeah, it's British. I hate to say it, I think British tourists are probably one of the worst tourists in the world to go abroad. So there is a sort of feeling that everybody should sort of conform to us.
And believe it or not, some of them are stupider than me. A lot of them.
I do believe there are some tourists who go there who go up to someone saying, "You give food now. You don't understand. You're not trying, are you?" That is, I think, the attitude some people do have, and I do apologise to the rest of the world. I know we've insulted most of you, but I do apologise to the rest of the world for the doing that, and I hope that that's why I don't go abroad really, because then I can't do it.
You don't go abroad to stop yourself from being a dick to foreigners.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can very well believe that.
Thing.
That's one of the main reasons.
Apart from France, the most foreign place I've ever been was Wales.
That is pretty foreign. In fairness, the majority of Norfolk is pretty foreign to here.
True, but I spent a lot of time in Norfolk. I feel gradually.
You've started to blend in.
Yeah, I think I've sort of gradually got the trust of the natives. You know how what's that? I might defend Norfolk people here. I'm awfully sorry because if any of them ever listen to this, I'm in trouble.
Finally, he's gonna offend
someone. You know
that
lady who went to live with the apes and she eventually got sort of ingrained into their community. Was it Jane somebody?
Yeah.
Yes. That's basically how I'm getting on in Norfolk. I've sort of gradually gained the trust of the Norfolk folk.
The Norfolk chimps.
The Norfolk. I've gradually gained the trust and I'm being sort of integrated into the community and hopefully soon they won't realise I'm foreign.
Well, you have managed to
get... Do you know one of my best friends is Norfolk? He's going to hear it and he's going to be so annoyed with me.
Oh, lucky.
Oh.
Do you want me to throw in? I haven't got any Norfolk jokes.
I'm trying to think of some Norfolk jokes. I'm trying to think.
Someone who isn't from Norfolk. If you're from Norfolk, give us some Norfolk jokes so that we can say on the next episode if we haven't been shut down or arrested.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Norfolk style parody on YouTube?
No.
You know Gangnam Style? Someone did Norfolk style parody on YouTube. It's really well done. It's obviously not someone from Norfolk.
I was going to say, how inbred is it?
Well, there is actually a line. You know, where they say in the original one, say, "Hey, sexy lady." They changed to, "Hey, inbred lady."
Oh God!
But this is okay because it's done with someone from Norfolk, so we're fine. You can insult your own country. It's perfectly fine.
Your own country. Piss off, Norfolk. We don't want you anymore. Break away. Off you go.
I mean, it's unfortunate they were lucky enough to be born not in Suffolk, but you can't hold it against them. Oh God, I'm in so much trouble.
Yeah, yes you are.
I'm in so much trouble.
For once, it isn't me that's brought down the class of everything.
Chased down Norfolk with pitchforks and burning torches.
And just to make it even more fun, I'm not going to edit that out. Ha ha ha! And then you find out that entire segment's disappeared, and you're like, "Why is he saying that for?"
Oh dear. I think we've offended enough people today, Luke.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. It's that extra hour.
Yeah, we are nearing towards... We're getting longer every time. If this carries on, not much, about another few months, we'll be just basically doing 24/7.
Yeah, we a 24-hour episode.
Welcome to hour 67 of the Bad Nerds episode 6 podcast.
We'll have to run cameras from here to your place. So people can just follow us about as we're randomly ranting and stuff.
We'll get Serial on the case and he can just post it.
Well, it is already stalking you, dude.
Yeah, I know it is. So, we better just let people know to contact us.
Oh, God, really?
Yeah.
After what you just said, you racist?
Send your complaints to Luke Roberts.
They're actually going to look me up now. They're going to firebomb my house.
They are.
That said, they are too primitive to really figure out how that works.
Now you're insulting them.
Not at all. We have just gone and called Norfolk, like people from Norfolk foreigners. But
Oh, I'm in so much trouble. Oh, I'm not gonna. When I go seeing this week, I'm not gonna have my hand up high. Really, I'm not.
right there.
I'm gonna find myself like locked in a feed store.
You're not making it any better for yourself, are you? Goddamn primitives. Locking people away.
That's okay. I'll just show my iPhone. He won't be. I have magic in hand.
We don't have light. We don't use lighters anymore.
Yeah, I'm making it worse, aren't I? Sorry, people from Norfolk. I do like your county. It's not as nice as Suffolk, but I do like it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I am so glad that one, I'm on a mode of transport that is incredibly quick, so I don't have to touch the damn place much anymore. Two, it isn't me doing it.
Off. They lost me down on a horse and cart, you know.
They've really just managed to pick up on plumbing, have they? And in fairness, our university was in Norfolk.
It was.
Oh,
It was.
no.
Actually, I went to university in Norfolk as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent my every day off I spend in Norfolk. I'm so doomed.
He's becoming one of them.
Well, I won't be joining on the next podcast because I'll no doubt been.
It will be the Rand Nerd podcast.
Yeah. Oh no.
That spelling mistake was just kind of, was foresight.
Oh, no doubt been somehow sort of eviscerated by a bunch of upset Norfolkers.
Norfolkers.
Yeah. So
Norfolkers.
goodbye. It's been nice speaking to you. I mean, if anyone wants to attend my funeral, Luke will post the details up on the page for you. I'll give them the account details. Look forward to seeing. Well, I won't look forward to seeing you though because I'll be dead. But I'm sure.
Oh, he's dying.
Gypsy cuss from Norfolk. Right. So
Where are
you
we?
can find us on the internet, on the interweb.
That Norfolk doesn't have.
Yeah, Norfolk doesn't have. No, that's why you can never hear this podcast. Randnerds.com is our blog site where you'll find all the contact details and links to all the various pages.
That's where you can flame him at.
No. Email us at randnerd@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook if you search for Rand Nerds on Facebook. Then we have a YouTube account, which is also Rand Nerds. What else do we have? Oh, Twitter. That's the last one.
We have a Twitter account.
We have a
We
Twitter
posted
account.
on Twitter?
Only what I post on the blog, so I just can't think of anything sort of insightful to say. I hate Twitter accounts where people just post random stuff. I'm having cherries for tea. That sort of stuff. I just won't.
I thought that was what Facebook was for.
No, Facebook's for pictures of what you're having for tea.
I thought that was what Instagram was for.
No, Instagram's just for pictures of like paving.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, now you learn something new every day.
No, you do.
Amazing.
Facebook is for pictures of your food you're eating and pictures of your pets doing something inane.
Selfies. That's what Facebook is for.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate selfies.
So yeah. So you follow us on Twitter at Rand Nerds as well. So follow us on Twitter. But mainly, if you go to randnerds.com, you will find all the various contact details on there, all the various links on there. It's probably the best way to keep in touch with us, if truth be known.
If he hasn't been killed by the time
If
I
I've not
post
been
this.
killed by then. What I will do is I will change the password so that if I am killed, Luke can no longer do the podcast.
He's going to change the podcast
If
before
I'm going
he
down,
gets killed.
I'm taking you all with me.
He's got a panic button on his phone
Yeah.
that's set to automatically change the password if he's about to get shotgunned down by a random farmer.
Siri, delete the podcast.
And then all of a sudden, he gets like grassed up by Siri down at the local mine shaft.
Siri texts all the people north of my location.
Oh, that
Hello,
was brilliant.
Nicholas Jackson is now entering the county.
Yeah, but they haven't got any iPhones or anything. They're not.
Someone must have.
I thought they're
it,
still
though.
using tin cans and string.
Yeah, but there'll be some people from. Yeah, but there'll be some like people over there who must have them.
We're comparing them to the Amish, dude.
I know we are. Oh dear. This is why we shouldn't record these things at like nearly midnight. What time is it? It's now 10 to 1. We shouldn't record these things this late in the night because this is what happens. We end up insulting everybody.
We're going to have to actually do that at some point. No, what we're going to do is, next episode, if we can, we will go down the
If
pub.
I'm still alive.
If you're still alive, maybe. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. I'll call in some favours from our American friends.
Yeah, we'll get him to attack Norfolk for me.
This is like nuke.
Which terrorists are they looking? Because Osman bin Laden's now dead, so you could in the old days just tell him Osman bin Laden were there.
Dead. He was buried at sea. He's still there. He's in Norfolk.
There you go, Americans. Osman bin Laden is currently alive around Norfolk.
Saw him last week. You know, I
Did
hang
you?
out with old Billy Boy all the time.
Oh, fair enough.
He's on my speed dial. Same with George W. Bush.
Is he one of our followers on our podcast?
Yeah, and Buddy Holly.
Yeah, and Buddy Holly, is he? Yeah. They're all following us.
Yeah. People keep thinking that Elvis is dead, you know, but he's got a private island on the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh,
On
and Lord Lupin as well.
Look, everyone is everywhere, even Captain Crunch.
Never even heard of them.
Breakfast cereal.
Oh. Okay, so that's how you contact us. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Nicholas Jackson.
And we'll see you next month from the pub, says Luke Roberts. You!
Yeah.
With a pint in my hand. Probably of Coke, so I don't drink.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Luke. It's rather...
See you later, mate. Pew pew! Norfolk rule! Don't kill me! Kill Nick!